Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Power Rangers Let There Be. Oh, sorry, episode 2. I've skipped an episode already. Episode 2 of Power Rangers Let There Be Thunder. Apparently, in my rush to write story bits and pieces, I skipped an entire stream, but it's okay, you know. We'll do a catch up, I suppose, of what everybody missed. I am Matthew. I am the GM today, last week, and every other week that we stream. And here are the lovely players who are going to introduce themselves.
Hello, everybody. I am Jay, and I'm just happy to be here. I will be playing the Red Ranger in this game because Red Rangers are awesome. My Ranger is called Q for short. He's Mercutio Quinn by his full name, but he is just Q or Quinn to most of his friends.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm Green Ranger. Name's Pete. Name's Peter, but most people call him Pete nowadays. Yeah, let's kick some butt.
Hi everyone, my name is Jameson. I'll be playing the Blue Ranger Vic. And yeah, can't wait to get started. More phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Was that a pun? This guy. And I am Panic. I'll be playing Eric Callahan. Call me Cal. Everyone does. I'm the Yellow Ranger here.
Fantastic. As you may have noticed, we do have one player who isn't here this week, off enjoying one of the conventions. So we are, or I am at the very least, both happy and jealous. I don't know about the rest of you, but little jealousy going on.
The jealousy is offset by the fact that I'm getting a Comic-Con in my town like next month.
Oh.
So
No way!
Oh,
Nice.
Genius.
So like, you can have the big one. I'll take the tiny one.
Fantastic.
Fewer people.
One thing just
Fewer people, just as awesome.
One thing just before we start, I made a mistake last week. I'll put my hands up and admit it. Story points for re-rolling dice can only be re-rolled on a 1, and it only re-rolls that dice. So if you rolled a 1 on a d20 and then spent a story point to re-roll, you'd roll that 1 on the d20, not the entire roll. I made a mistake. I'll own it. We've gone through it. Everybody knows how it's supposed to work now. Everybody is free to shout at me if I forget it again. But yeah.
No, sorry, I can't re-roll that.
No, sorry. We did end last week with the 5 new Power Rangers having defeated a group of putties who had attacked the celebrations that were going on in the park. They saved some police officers who had come off a little bit worse for wear in the fighting before they arrived. And there was a little bit of semi-intimidating banter from Rito Revolto before he disappeared. And there was an explosion off in the mountains, but that's fine. You know, mountains, things happen.
Nothing for us to concern ourselves with.
Everything's fine.
He missed.
Yeah.
He was trying to hit us, obviously.
Just a really bad shot, you know. I'm sure nothing will come back to bite anybody at any point in the future.
I mean, to be
we
fair,
didn't
if you watch
demorph,
pictures from
so-
the moon, like a teeny bit out at the moon. By the time you actually get to Earth, it's going to be off by quite a bit. So it was a close shot.
Just a tiny little mass issue. Yeah, failed to carry a 1 or something somewhere.
In the grander perspective.
But we'll start off with today's session. The 5 Power Rangers are standing victorious amongst some police cars that were on fire but have since been put out by Mouse, who redirected the water flow from the hydrants. And as the fight winds down, the people that sort of had run off and were fleeing or hiding behind buildings and trash cans and things like that, the reporter for Ola Angel Grave News, they all sort of start coming back out where the sound of fighting has faded. And they find our 5 Power Rangers just standing there in the midst of all what had gone on. There's some shock, some recognition to a degree, because these aren't the Power Rangers of the 10 years ago, but these are new Power Rangers at the very least. And then there's just cheering, clapping, big old round of applause as they celebrate the 5 of you.
I assume we've all got like intercoms built into the helmets, isn't it?
Actually, yeah. I should have my helmet.
You, I will say yes. You have a way of communicating
So like
with one
close
another.
range ones, just so when we're in
That's really
the same sort of area, so like we don't have to shout to each other, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just because Peter will say, like to the rest of the group, "Hey guys, best origin story ever, right?"
Now, I still reckon that this is concussion, and at some point I'm about to wake up, but I'm going with it.
Oh no, dude, we Power Rangers. Like we definitely Power Rangers. This ain't. This is real.
We should probably group up. It'll look better on camera.
Yeah, we all group up and strike a pose.
A mountain just
multicolored
exploded. I
explosion
don't
behind
think. I don't think posing is our main priority right now.
You have to look good for the
We
cameras.
shoot a quick pose, and then we maybe ask Alpha to teleport us to the mountain, or try and contact Alpha.
Yeah. Question: did we get communicators?
You did. Not the old school watches, and I apologise because I didn't mention it at the time. They're a little bit more like modern day sort of smartwatches, so they wouldn't really look out of place on any young adult with an attitude. But you do have a way of
Look at these-
communicating with Alpha.
Cool. I think Quinn kind of awkwardly acknowledges some of the applause, and then just like taps his new
His
doohickey
Apple
on the
Watch.
wrist. Yeah. What could we call it instead of an Apple Watch? I'll just say communicator.
Banana phone.
Then we're into Banana Man, and I don't know if that was ever a character over in America, but it was a huge character over here. When Eric eats a banana. Anyway, yeah. So, not sure if he needs to do a voice or not, and before Siri responds, it's like, Alpha, we're ready to teleport now.
I like the deep bass Christian Bale style Batman
I am
voice.
Batman.
Yeah. You all gathered together. You do watch as the cameras come up. People hold out their phones taking pictures. You see the flashes going off. But you also realise that some people clearly seem to be recording it. And just before you're teleported up and away from this street outside of the park, you see 2 things. One, you see 2 police officers who you'd seen in the park earlier that day, who you recognise. They're quite familiar. You remember seeing their sort of podcast when you were kids, interviewing all of the high schoolers at Angel Grove. You see Bulk and Skull, phones out, kind of backs to you as they kind of taking selfies with the cameras, just chatting, almost shouting into the camera what they're seeing, what has happened. And you kind of get the sense that they're probably live streaming this, going back to their old ways a little bit. You also see a dark van pulling up just outside of the collection of onlookers, and just on the side panel, you recognize the logo for Energen Tech. You are whisked away to that same cold, dark room. The only light, that of the robot. He says, "Come on, Roll20."
It's loaded for me.
It's
Yeah, I can
loaded
see
Yeah,
for
I'm all
me.
loaded in.
It's just not loading for the stream, which is awesome.
Which is the thing we need it for.
Just a little bit, you'd think, just be helpful. Don't cause me any trouble. No.
Lost everybody in the stream to a temporal vortex.
Oh no, not time
Yeah,
shenanigans.
they can't
all
come
over
in the
again.
Power Ranger base. They can't come in here. It's for us only.
Not time shenanigans all over again.
Time travel.
Oh, Roll20, I love you so.
Well, Roll20, like loads, I just want to say why you were saying about the police officer. Knew it was going to be Bulk and Skull, and all that was going through my head was.
They're just going back to their sort of old ways where they had their own show talking about all things Power Rangers. And they were here. They were there when Rito attacked. They were there for the beginning of your new adventure. Oh, this is not working. Okay. Bear with me, everybody, just for a moment, because I am just going to swap this over from one window to another, which does unfortunately mean you're going to see a few things that potentially... Let's see if we can get this to do it quickly. I love technology as long as technology is working in the way that I want it to work.
Technology. One day it will be nice to us.
Not
Computers
if
are
it
only
can
good
help
for
it.
making very fast, very specific mistakes.
Yes.
I make my mistakes at the speed of light.
And I think, to be fair...
That way, by the time anyone knows...
The mistake
be
on
miles
this
from
one
there.
is definitely my fault. I've had Roll20 working on Safari all day today, so I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to leave it on Safari. It'll be fine. I appreciate it's not supported, but it's been working all day. It's not going to cause me any issues now. That was my first mistake.
Like my Judas Mike, it's fine until it's not.
Yes. Okay.
Mistakes were made.
And somehow I've just managed to get the news up, because that's what I wanted. Thank you very much, Apple, for being so supportive. Okay, so that is my Roll20, and let's see if I can get the other Roll20 that I wanted to be on.
Da, 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 da.
Apologies again, everybody. If we didn't have Tech Gremlins, I think I'd probably be out of a job. And this isn't even a job.
I think that those tech gremlins are probably just how your fumbles manifest.
Yes.
In the real world.
Yeah, when I roll, I've clearly rolled a 1 on my technology roll. We are going to, unfortunately, because this is not showing up on OBS. Right, so here it is. I'm going to apologise to everybody now, because you're all going to be seeing some bits that I was trying to keep hidden from you all using GM overlays. Hopefully none of my players are watching the stream at the same point, because this could be very interesting for the story.
I've got got it on a screen, but certainly without my glasses on. Even with my glasses on, the writing is teeny tiny, so I can't see it.
I won't look at the screen to see any secret DM
Yes,
notes.
wink, wink.
Oh, I've dropped my pen.
Never. I would never do that.
Oh, I am filled with all kinds of reassurance right now, guys, just for the records.
I
But
am the most trustworthy man.
Evil Yellow Ranger. Do, 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 do.
we've got too many evil rangers.
Plot twist, all evil, all bad, every single one of us.
You,
Yeah, the grid picked the wrong
Yes.
teenagers.
it turns
The
out there
Grinch
was
is
actually
We really are.
5 other people it was supposed to pick in the park that day, and you guys were just closer, so you just got picked up instead.
Yeah.
But
Maybe we were meant to bring balance to the grid.
There cannot be yin without yang.
just throw some Star Wars references in there while we're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a frog man. Teach us how to jump.
We are going to roll with it like this. And hopefully I can get it to go back to working properly before next week. You, as I said, you're teleported back into that same cold and dark room. The minute you're in there, there's a notable drop in temperature. And you feel a pressure in your ears. But you do see in front of you the same robot that had introduced himself only minutes earlier. And the light from the top of his head does provide enough illumination for you all to sort of see around yourselves. Rangers,
It does not help that these suits are skin tight.
no,
It's freezing in here.
you did fantastic defeating the putties, Rangers. Unfortunately, Rito did get away, but perhaps not the best time for you to be facing him without any training. The fact that you did as well as you did without running through any of the simulations is just further proof that the grid picked the right team.
The grid.
Peter will chime in here.
Oh,
Peter, apparently, from what I understand, the grid is some sort of power source that gives all the Rangers their powers. It's like this nth dimensional space. It's awesome.
Peter's clearly been watching Bulk and Skull as they interview scientists around Angel Grove.
He's their first subscriber.
Everything Power Rangers. He studies it all. That's why he speaks putty.
The grid is a source of energy. It's what gives you your armored form. It's from where you're able to summon your power weapons. And as you grow in experience and complete some of these training simulations, you will find you're able to access more and more of its power, able to do wonderful things.
What
Yeah,
sort of
okay.
wonderful things?
There
Can't
was
be more wonderful than this.
there
feels
was an ability the original Rangers possessed that allowed them to jet across the sky.
Wait, we can fly?
They could fly. Perhaps the grid will develop differently for you. We'll have
Peter
to
just
see.
sits there rubbing his hands.
But Rangers, you did fantastic.
Thank you. I was a little worried that the putties didn't seem. They seemed like they weren't put together correctly.
They did seem a little bit mix-matchy, didn't they?
I do wonder.
Yeah, something was very off about him.
Yeah, they are like the ones that we used to see like 10 years ago The
Yeah, they look like they didn't fall
Yeah.
apart so easy back then.
These ones
Apple,
kind of
do you
just
know what-
crumbled.
10 years passed. One of Rita's generals, Finster, would create her putties, the various monsters she used to assault Angel Grove. It does seem strange, however, that now they are so incomplete. If you
oh,
He said something about a
fine.
master vial, Alpha. You know anything about it?
Unfortunately, Rangers, I do. Master Vile is the father of both Rita and her brother Rito. He is one of the most evil beings in the entire galaxy. And at the moment, he is one of the beings waging war on planets far and wide.
Question:
Is-
That's not.
Where are the old Rangers? Why were we chosen?
I mean, if they're not here, they must be fighting that guy, right? If he's waging war on planets far and wide, someone has to go and try to stop him. And we haven't seen the Rangers in a while, so
Or
hopefully,
are they dead? And so that's why we got called?
also a possibility. One I'd
Unfortunately,
much rather not think about.
unfortunately, you both seem to be correct. Several of the original Rangers went off to join the fight, travelling through space with Corone. 2 of them stayed on the planet just in case anything happened, anything like today. And it is why when you took your power coin, there were 2 empty spaces. The original white and pink Ranger waited here just in case, living their lives, but they seem to have died.
So where are they now?
How
Ooh.
recently did they die?
Wait a minute. White and pink. And they died recently, which threw it up to us. And the putties attacked really close to a certain Peter? Hey Pete.
Yeah.
Who died today? Like I'm
Yeah.
talking minutes before.
Yeah, seems a little coincidence, and I was kind of thinking the same thing. Do you
Oh,
know
you
Tommy
guys-
Oliver, Alpha?
It isn't a coincidence, Rangers. Tommy Oliver and his wife, they were the original white and pink Ranger.
And Peter's gonna like angrily and kind of like upsetly go, "I knew it!"
That's a lot. Oh boy.
Wow. They did very well.
The fact that they died in an explosion so soon before Rito arrived would suggest foul play.
But the Power Rangers, are they definitely dead? They still had their morphers. Surely there's something they could have done.
I can't find any connection to them with the morphing grid. If they're not dead,
What about
there's somewhere I can't reach.
their coins and their morphers? Can you track the signatures from them?
I've tried, Rangers. If I could have brought them back today to lead the fight, I would have every time.
Gwen just
Okay.
takes a
So
step
now
back.
we got.
He's just not processing this at the moment. It's just too much info for his poor brain.
A little bit of deep dive. Peter's known Tommy for a very long time, since he was a little kid. He's trained him in like martial arts, and he's basically been like an older brother to Peter, and he's the only person, or one of the only people, that called him Petey. And when he was younger, there was a big fight with Goldar, and the Dragon Zord and Goldar were fighting, and some debris fell down, and the Green Ranger ended up saving him. But as he's like jumped down to save him, he's accidentally shouted out, "Petey, look out!" And since then, Peter's always had like a little bit of an inkling, and that's why at the beginning when he didn't believe that Tommy could be dead, and then also when the putties showed up, he kind of said to himself like, "I knew it." He's always kind of had a suspicion.
Rangers, I'm aware that this is a lot, that the weight of the world has figuratively fallen upon your shoulders. If you want to take some time and consider whether or not this is a journey you want to take, I can return you to your homes.
I mean,
Go-
Zordon, you.
Hmm?
Alpha, you chose Zordon. You and Alpha chose us. I mean, it looks like these rookies is all the Earth has left. The two main guys leading the charge are gone now. So I guess it is up to us.
Yeah, I mean the coins chose us for a reason. Why else would we be here? I'm in.
Can't back out when people are in trouble. This is too much for a normal person, so the Power Rangers are going to have to take it.
People like look over to Jay. They're like, "Jay, you in?"
Q, actually. Wrong letter.
Quinn looks over his shoulder.
Q even.
He's
Yeah,
just like,
sorry. Yeah, sorry, Q.
it's a letter. It's close. Quinn, having taken a moment, goes, Tommy trained us, and you more than me, Pete, but Kim was always on hand too. If they're gone, then yeah, we're at next best hope. If it's fallen to us, if we've been called, we can't turn down a call to defend and protect others. To do so would be dishonorable.
Yeah,
And
we
this
need,
Rito,
like,
he's got it coming. He needs to be taken down a peg or all of them. So, yeah. Where do we go next, Arthur?
Rangers, I respect your commitment. I'm not going to lie to you, the fight ahead will be difficult, but I do believe you were chosen for the right reasons. And that all of you together will be able to defeat Rito and anything he throws at you. I do have a training simulation I can run you through now if you feel prepared. Else we can start again in the morning.
nah, let's rumble.
Let's go now.
Wasn't Peter at
Yeah.
like 1 health before this?
Yeah, I would assume that we've regenerated by now.
You haven't. You are still on 1 health. But as the simulation begins, I'll say that you're not... The command center itself, or wherever it is that you are, will allow you to fight at full strength. So if you have lost any health or any power, personal power points,
Hey.
Hmm.
So do we
Pete's
just hit
just
the
gonna-
regenerate button?
you should be able to press the regenerate button. It should. Yes, it did.
Hey, there we go.
Woohoo.
Fantastic.
I was going to say it should work,
Something worked.
but yeah, let's not push our luck.
There's a regenerate button.
There is a regenerate
On the
button.
character sheet, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I never knew that. Oh, nice.
On the other side of the big morph button.
It is just for the personal power points, so not for the health. That you have to adjust manually, I do believe.
Or use the plus and minus buttons on either side of the health.
Alpha moves back towards the back wall of the room and as he does, what looks to be a larger than normal putty appears. Use this token, unfortunately. Oh, I need the character sheet, so let's just open it up. That's the downside of having you all watching my Roll20 screen at this time, unfortunately. It stands just over 7 foot tall. It looks exactly like the original putties you remember seeing. None of it looks disfigured. None of it looks as if it's been slapped together with different pieces and parts. And it looks like it's ready to cause some trouble.
You know, now that I'm looking at this one, it really drives home just how bad those other ones were.
Yeah, Pete just summons his dagger and he's just like, okay, now that's a putty. This is going to be fun.
It's like, you remember when you had a normal TV and then you went to a HD TV?
Yeah,
It's
visible
like
difference.
Yeah. It's like you don't expect it to be different, and then it's like, oh, I've got
Yeah.
new glasses.
Snake roll.
I think at that point Quinn gets just a little bit closer just to inspect just how realistic it looks.
Everybody go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Dun, da, da, da.
Okay.
But what I will say is, as Q does get closer, and this thing looks so real that you couldn't tell that it was any sort of simulation, any sort of training exercise. It is big and bulky. Its massive arms are raised, ready to strike. Though it doesn't seem to be the quickest of things, unlike the rest of you guys, because I went ahead and rolled a 6 on the initiative.
You might have to add me to the turn order because
No worries.
my token wasn't selected when I hit that button. But I did. I'm so upset that I rolled a 20. Come on, man. I need that for other things.
No, of course you won't.
Yeah,
do that.
I didn't select my token either,
That's
so I'm
absolutely
a 17. You'll need to.
I'm just going to roll for
Yeah, well, few people
Mouse 2.
Yeah, well.
Mouse has got a D2 in initiative. No change. We'll just do a 10.
Can't wait for these rolls to
Okay.
matter.
So there is
'Cause
something.
that's when this is going to go
Yeah.
pear-shaped.
Mouse got a 2.
Do we get a story point on the fumble?
You do get a story point on the fumble. I'm just popping the initiatives on and I'm going to track that too. Cal got a 21. Q got a 17. And Vic got a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is Cal, Q, Peter or Vic, the putty, and then Mouse. And you do get a additional story point for the fumble, because my first roll of the day is a 1.
2 1s.
Yeah, double ones, double snake eyes. Yeah, snake eyes for me. Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure it'll be good. But Cal,
Well, this is supposed to be training, and there aren't like Alpha hasn't simulated like people that need to be brought out of its range. So, right to the violence. Then I'm gonna come up next to Q,
He
and
woke up today and he chose violence.
and I'm going to attempt to hit it with the Griffin's paws,
so I'm going to use a story
not using
point.
my triple strike. All
I'm
right.
going to use a story point, and I'm going to use a story point to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use a story point to increase the putty's defense. Just make it a little bit harder
boy.
for you guys to be able to hit it. See if we can get it to last more than a round or two. But I am essentially going to use the story point to add +5 to its toughness. So that will be a difficulty of 20 to strike
Cool.
the
Can
putty.
we do that?
You can do that.
So that's that is an 18 or higher, I have to roll on the
Yeah.
d20. And if it's an 18, I have to roll a 2 on the d2. All right.
Just for one rainbow, isn't it?
It
Oh,
is-
someone posted
Oh.
in chat those story points on and shit.
it's actually is entirely possible that is the case because you can't crit you can't crit on an initiative check because there's no difficulty.
So technically, you can't fumble it because there is no.
Yes,
Yeah, it's just a.
so it's still just a
So
5
take
story
that
points.
6th
Yep.
story point away.
Yep.
Thank you, whoever took our 6 story point away. Thank
Yeah, great job. Great job.
Great job.
All right,
Thanks for
anyway.
letting us play the game, right?
I'm just stalling because I've inputted 20 difficulty and I'm worried about hitting the submit button. So here comes a failure.
Maybe not.
Let's get it. Normal. 6.
Yeah, that is a little bit
was
lower than we
close.
was hoping. Yeah, it's close.
It was
You're only
right
a little bit off.
Could have gotten it.
You was like right there, just a little bit. So Cal does hit the sort of larger than life putty, cracks it right in the jaw, but there is no reaction whatsoever. It is almost like Cal just tried to punch a concrete wall. It doesn't flinch, there's no cracks, it is just standing there still, and its eyes just shift over to Cal. And
So its eyes have shifted over to me.
yep, if it could look
All right, in that-
sinister, like if those lifeless eyes could look intimidating, they'd be sending shivers down your spine.
So I still have movement. So
You do?
now that I have its attention, I'm going to call out to the rest. It's more durable than the last couple, and then I'm going to move right here so that its back is to the rest of my team.
Okay. That is
And that's me.
Q, and
Okay.
I am going to do the same thing. That's another +5 to its toughness. So its toughness, it's not another +5, as in it's not now 25, but as it's for one attack,
It's
its
still
toughness
20.
is still 20. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's not a permanent raise.
No, just for the attack.
No,
One-
but it does mean we can burn through all of his story points if we pressure him in this battle. So
Bando.
Quinn is going to spend one of our story points, controversial, to roll as if he has a specialization.
Fantastic.
So I am going to go for. He's going to jump in the air and attempt to do 2 feet into its kind of however high he gets.
Okay.
So face if he's high, chest if it's not quite high, nads if he fails.
The floor.
Just straight up dick shot.
yeah.
Drop kick
yeah.
right there.
So that would bring you down to
Chat has both
4
your
story
kneecaps in the
points.
process. So.
Submit. Normal. Yes!
Get it?
Woohoo!
Yes.
Fantastic. So
So I would like Quinn to do this by jumping and shouting, "In your face!" And he shouts face.
literally
Plants
just
both feet into the putty's face and then backflips off and then uses some of his movement to retreat slightly because it is rather large and intimidating.
fantastic.
The floppy fish. I'm familiar.
Where Q struck it, sort of in the side of the head as its eyes were facing Cal at the time, its heads and its body just slowly turn. Not moving so much as like moving away from where it's standing, but just changing its orientation so it stares right at Q even as he backs away. That is
Actually, rather than going
Oh.
back to there, I'm going to backflip, but then I'm going to step through to here, if that's okay.
yeah, that's
Just
absolutely
so
fine.
that I'm not in a nice line in a perfect sweep attack.
Just charge.
So that I can't just like get one slap across all of your faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight down the line.
uh,
And that ends my turn.
Fantastic. So it's Peter's turn now, and we're going to do the same thing because this putty is a bit of a one-trick pony apparently, and it's just going to sort of bear down, waiting for the assault.
Cool. All right. Question. Jay just used one of our story points to turn it into a specialization. Can you do
Yep.
that to give you an upshift as well?
You
Or
can't.
if you've already got a specialization.
You cannot do it to gain an upshift. You can do it to get a specialization. You can use it to give yourself an item that you've just sort of found somewhere.
Okay, fair play. Fair play.
You can use it to regain personal power points. Only one person, and it's 1d2, so you could roll good or bad. Some bits and pieces may ask you to use story points for something.
Okay, fair play, fair play. Difficulty 20, yeah?
Difficulty is 20, yep.
Yeah, lovely. Don't have edge or anything. So Pia is going to run past and hit it with my dragon saber, like across the back. But I can do it as one fluid motion, can't I? So just run straight through.
Yep, so
Move
you can
25 feet and
move.
hit him on the way past.
Yeah, you can move sort of before or after
Like,
firing.
drag the blade back.
What I will say is remember that moving away from the putty would count as difficult terrain. So if you can only move 25 feet, that would bring you 5 foot closer.
I can move 30 feet in total.
Okay, that's absolutely fine then.
There just wasn't enough space to move a complete 30 foot.
And up the wall.
Yeah, just like
I mean, that'd be some cool Spider-Man stuff.
yeah,
if you want
just
to
like
pay
some sort of
homage, pay
insect
homage to
hero.
the name you've taken.
It just sticks to the wall.
the
But yeah,
the sword
And we turn
just
up that island.
clangs off of the putty.
ping.
Yeah, you just hear the ting of the blade as it strikes this toughened skin, and it doesn't even turn to
So
look
that
at
was-
Peter.
I
As
didn't
that
even
was
notice.
a 1 on the skill dice, does that mean story point? Or
It's
is it only if it's a fumble?
only if it's a
I think
fumble.
it's only on the 20.
It's only if it's a fumble. Yeah, you get you can re-roll
Yeah,
the
it's gotta
one.
be the D20.
but-
skill dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah, no point in re-rolling that one anyway because it won't give me enough
Yeah,
to.
that makes
hit him.
sense because otherwise a D2 is either going to be 2 points or a story point every
Yep.
time. Sorry.
Yep.
Excuse my brain.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's Vic's turn, and it is going to do exactly the same thing. So that's going to be a difficulty 20.
All right, so
Okay.
that's 4 story points.
Yep.
How many do you get?
This man has all the points. They're coming out of his shirt. It's just
Yeah.
stuffed with story
I got
points.
extra story points for this cool T-shirt.
All right. I'm going to
Really? Is that how we're playing it?
Yes.
over there. Moving back one more. I think that's 20 feet, right? Let me make sure. Yeah. All right. And Vic is talking to the other guys like, "This is one big boy." All right. So Vic is going to pull out his gauntlets and try to give the guy a good blast. Put a good blast with him.
Okay.
Pew pew.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we
Well,
can hear you perfectly.
Perfect.
I just
Okay,
didn't
cool.
want to mention it
Good
just in case.
Yeah.
I fucked
Don't
my
jinx
head
it.
up by acknowledging it.
Don't jinx it. But Brian has said, "Get 'em, Vic." So you need to make
Yeah.
sure you need to hit now. I'm just throwing it out there.
Dude, you have the blessing.
Why?
Hit him
Wow.
really hard.
Brian's blessing. Do, 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 do.
Brian's
This is what
blessing
my
should
brain
count
does.
as-
do that to me, Brian?
It should count
Brian's-
as a story point and give him an upshift or something.
Yeah, Brian's blessing should count as an upshift.
Maybe that could be a perk.
GM's discretion, like.
The Brian's blessing perk. Once per session, you can take an upshift on any roll that you choose.
on any roll that Brian signs
Yeah.
off on.
As long as Brian's about
Yeah,
to tell you
anyone
whether or not
that
it's allowed.
specifically says do it.
Vic fires his energy blast from his unicorn gauntlets at the putty. It strikes, it hits, and the energy just dissipates as it sort of courses across it.
Oh man, well forget about the bigger they are, the harder they fall. This guy's pretty tough. Well then, I think that will end Vic's turn. Cause I moved my 20 feet. I only have like 5 more feet, but I'm good where I'm at.
Probably safe bet.
The
Keep back and pew pew.
Since Q struck the putty and damaged it, its gaze has been focused on him the entire time. It strides forwards close enough to bring its powerful hands up and slam them down, aiming to strike our lovely Red Ranger. And
Even the enemies have Red Ranger bias. It's crazy.
everybody has Red Ranger bias. Some people love him, other people just want to kapew.
Love to hurt him. Yeah.
Let's roll. Using specialization, yes. Skill shift, no change. And what is our lovely Red Ranger's toughness? Because I feel like you should just get a chance to say it.
20.
See? Who needs a +5 to their defense?
Sorry, I should have said that as 20.
Let's have a look. What do we think? Ooh.
Let's get it. Look, on one hand, that's a story point for him back in the bag. On the other hand,
Yeah.
take that.
He's
Let's
gonna
catch his
use his story point to re-roll this one, and we're gonna see what happens.
Fair.
But
Fair and honest.
I still
Fair
need
and
to
honest, I
roll
believe it.
an 18 in order to hit Q.
An 18 and a 2. Yep, there it is. Perfect.
Can we
Beats it,
just
beats it.
Can we just touch on the fact that that was just basically like that was meant to be. I'm sorry. That was
Yeah.
clearly meant to be.
Although, if you chose to re-roll, it means you don't get that story point.
I am
That's right,
aware.
isn't it?
I am
Okay.
I am quite happy not to get a story point.
Just to hit me, right?
Just
I
to
see.
deal
yeah.
2 damage.
Just to do
Insane.
some damage. And that is 2 blunt damage.
Ouch. Jinkies.
I want everybody to make me an alertness check.
All right.
Having just walloped me around the cranium.
Yep.
Thing.
The difficulty is
Brian
11.
has confirmed. Sorry. Brian has confirmed a new Red Ranger bias.
Red Ranger bias.
Great. I'm so proud. I'm so happy. God damn it. This is not where I want my 20s.
Hey, you're rolling good.
No, I'm in
Some of
pain.
us are rolling
My
good.
head is ringing.
Yeah. Q's got a minor concussion going on there a little bit.
Understandable.
You
Can't hold it against him.
I need to roll for Mouse as well. I need to keep Mouse's sheet open for myself just to make my life easier, really. This is one of those times where having multiple screens is awesome. Alertness, that's going to be a no. That's going to be a no. That is going to be an 11. And she has a snag because she's not got a skill dice in it. Wow, even Mouse got that. Everybody but Q, whose head is ringing a little bit, realizes that from the minute Q damaged the putty, its entire focus, its entire drive to fight shifted over to him. And as long as the Mongo Hollow Putty has not attacked you in this round, you get an edge on all attacks against it.
Awesome. We like to hear that.
I
It's a
thought you
good thing we
would.
discovered this, so that Mouse gets the edge.
Yes.
Right now, actually.
Mouse is going to move up, summon her lion's hammer, and she is going to make a great big two-handed swing with it. So it'll be 2 damage potentially if she hits. Let's go ahead and roll the dice using specialization. No. Skill shift. No. Difficulty is 15, and she does get an edge. That is a no.
That's all right.
Um,
Because she has a D4 in the
It's-
skill,
it's
could we
possible.
spend? Could
She-
you spend a story
yeah.
point to re-roll the D4 to hit it?
You know, if she gets a 3 or higher, she'll be able
3
to
or 4.
hit. Yeah. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Okay, let's have a look and see what the 1d4 has.
Let's get it.
Again, like
Yeah.
the dice taketh, the dice giveth. And the Mongo Hollow Putty takes a great big, almost like sledgehammer size hammer right to its torso. And the hammer is almost as big as Mouse's. And the fact that she swings it with as much force as she does, given her diminutive size, is quite impressive to see. But even as that does happen, even as it rocks backwards with the impact, you do see its gaze shift from Q to Mouse. And that is Cal's
Hey
turn
guys,
again.
hit it and move out. It seems to only target the one that just hit it. In and out, quick attacks.
I have a mechanical question.
Yep.
If 2 rangers wanted to do like a team up type thing, is there a system for that, or?
So I'm trying to think of it. So you could do one of several things. You could take a contingency action so that you both struck at the same time. But what that would mean is you would set a condition, and then once that triggers the condition, you do that
If the
thing.
condition triggers,
Yeah.
then do the thing. Yeah.
The Red Ranger does get an ability at a later level that allows him to merge loaded power weapons. You can lend assistance, which won't be an attack for you. It will give a benefit to the other person that's attacking.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to attack them at the same time, you're looking at either if you want to attack them at the same point, you're looking at a contingency action. Lend assistance would allow
Alright.
you to give help to somebody else attacking.
And all right, and then my second question was: is a trip style attack where like you take the legs out from under your enemy? Is that like a feature that a certain ranger like has to have, or can I just specify rather than like doing damage, I want to try make this thing prone?
So
You go high, I go low.
it would be
Yeah, exactly.
It would be something like a maneuver, or if you're trying to shove them, you could potentially knock them prone. I do believe. Bear with me 1 second because I need to double check that myself.
One character leads the effort and another helps. This aid can grant the leader either edge or 1-up shift on their roll.
Yeah, that's the
So-
lend
so
assistance.
As you just said, it would have to be on an action that you could both do. So if
Let's
you
have a
said-
look.
for example, if you called out target the knees, then you could have like a contingent action that if I go for the knee, you go for the other knee, and then
So
you
we've
know,
got choice
you get
words.
an edge, or you go high, I go low, something like that.
So you've got a choice. You can either do something pushing and shoving, which would be a might check, which I don't think
Not
is going to be
ideal.
great for Cal because there's a bit
For
of a
sure not.
Yeah. The alternative is you do have the maneuver trait on your unarmed strike. Yeah, as Brian's just said as well. So you maneuver is what you're looking for to try and sort of trip somebody. And instead of doing damage, essentially, that's what you would do. So you'd still roll it as an attack. I do believe on your unarmed strike, it's got downshift 1 for maneuver. As the alternate effect. Maneuver downshift 1, yeah. So you would roll your finesse at a downshift, and if you hit, you'd be able to do the maneuver, which would be, for your case, tripping it prone.
All right. And would the downshift also give me a snag because it would take my D2 to a 0?
It wouldn't give you a snag
Or would it
because
just be
you
flat?
have a D2. It would just be a flat attack.
Okay.
If you didn't have anything in it, you would gain a snag. And if you didn't have anything in it and you got an upshift, you would still get a snag because you don't have any actual training in it. You just got better circumstances to get it done.
All right, cool.
I hope I've got that the right way around.
right.
I'm hoping that is the case because if not, I've just completely confused myself. But I'm like 90%
Well,
sure.
I'm sure Brian will tell you.
Yeah, I'm like 90%. Having just said that.
In that case, I think I'm going to come up behind it, and I will call out, I guess to Q, since it's no longer focused on him. If you strike him high, I'll trip him low, and then prep a contingency action for that maneuver.
Okay. I am correct. Thank you very much, Brian. Not only in the fact that I'm correct, but thank you for letting us know. Because I really was, after I said that, I was really like, I was
You lost
certain
yourself
until,
a
yeah,
bit.
I was certain until I said it, and then I kind of sort of sat back and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
To be fair with us, if you say anything with enough certainty, we'll just go, oh yeah, okay, that's fine.
Just say it with confidence.
And that's what
Yeah.
happens when someone is slightly more familiar with the system than you.
I do it
Their
at work
word
all the
becomes
time.
gospel.
If you say anything confidently, people believe you, and then just look it up in the background.
Yeah, just nobody pay attention as I just do. But that is Q's turn then.
Cool. In which case he goes, all right, got it, in a very affirmative Power Ranger-y type way, and he goes for the same approach again, the jump and the feet to the head.
Okay.
And with lower ones, part of me doesn't want to use story points in training because we're probably going to need them when we get to big things. But equally, I think it'd be really cool if this works.
Remember,
Would it be okay if I spend a story point on
you
this?
do have edge as well, as it's not attacked
Yeah.
you this turn, just to remind you.
Ooh. True, I'd miss it. No, okay, I won't use a story point. I shall just use edge and hope for the best. So I'm going for a mighty kickflip to the head.
Okay.
No specialization, no shift.
And
Hang on, I'm going to start that again because I might have missed a prompt. Yeah, no specialization.
that will
No
trigger
shift. Difficulty.
Cal's attack as well then?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No specialization. Downshift
But
to
you do
0.
have the edge, remember?
Hard.
Yep. Difficulty 15. And I have edge. Nope.
Out of curiosity, was 6
8
or
and a
eight.
6.
Yeah. And
Son of a.
you were just complaining about rolling your 20s. I'm just saying. Like the
Yeah,
dice,
I don't.
it heard you.
I know what's gonna happen to me. I see a 20 on a skill check I don't need a 20 on, and I'm like, well, that's great. That's gone. Burned. Never gonna see it again.
You know, it could be worse. I'm not sure how it could be. Like I was gonna say you could have rolled a 1, but then at least you could have got a re-rolled it or got.
Then I could have re-rolled
Yeah,
it.
you could have got a story point maybe.
It's very strange how in this game I'd much rather have gotten a 1.
just in case, just be able to get something good. But what I will say is Jay trying to do the maneuver as well, or is Jay trying to? Sorry, is Q? I apologise. Is Q trying to do a maneuver, or is Q trying to do damage?
Yeah, I will just go for hit and run damage. So
Okay.
the trip didn't work. Q's plan was to go for the head and then back off and see where that landed in.
Sort of rock him backwards
So-
a little bit, so when Cal kicked at him, it just added a bit of
But-
momentum.
I just could I burn a PowerPoint for a triple strike attack on a maneuver?
That's an interesting question, because it does say a finesse attack, I do believe, on the triple. Let's have a quick look. I'm just going to bring up the.
Whenever you make a finesse attack
It is a
action,
finesse attack action,
but
isn't
that
it?
might specify attack. And
Only
does a
it's
maneuver
still,
count as an attack?
It is an attack still. It's just
Yeah,
an
'cause it-
alternate effect of an attack. The only thing that may possibly be is whether or not you have to declare it before you roll, which is probably going to be the. Brian says absolutely.
Brian says absolutely.
Brian
Let's
says
go,
absolutely.
Brian.
Go for it.
Let's go.
As I say, it does make sense because it is a finesse attack, so it does still. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
see what we do.
The declaring thing though makes sense, so I'm cool either way.
No, go for
You're
it.
cool with it?
We'll do the rule of cool.
All right. Hell
So
yeah!
it's a
Let me take
training
that
simulator.
PowerPoint away.
Kick him once in the leg and he doesn't go down. He just looks at him like, no, kicks him again.
Just
I'm
try
gonna
it
kick him
again.
2 more times.
Just keep flying away at the knee. Why won't you break?
I'm just kicking him in the knee, in the legs, just ankles, only ankles. I'll take the second one.
Woo. Okay.
Hell yeah!
And then
And
you
then
will make.
the third one, he's already tripped. Do you want me to? Because this, I did specify that I'm
Hit him
not
again.
doing damage. I'm just trying to trip him.
But you've tripped
So,
him
like-
now, so you can still hit him with your last attack.
I mean, look, if you'll let me, I'm good. I'm cool for it. I do want to do that.
do it.
Just slam your heel into his face.
Hell yeah! With the skill shift, right?
If you're making just a normal attack, no, but it's just a D2 for your follow-up attack.
All right. And still have edge, because
Yep. All
Unless I don't.
attacks.
I think I
no,
do, right?
all attacks.
and we take those.
Fantastic. So it isn't a critical success. One day Roll20 is going to surprise me by not having.
Yeah, and make
um,
a D2 be a crit.
yeah, one day I'm just going to come in and it's just going to be like, no, it's not doing the strange thing that it's supposed to be doing. Everything is fine. Yep. And
But not today.
you would have gained an edge as well, just for the record, because it is prone. But you can't have more than one edge. So you, between the two of you then, it's quite an impressive sight. Cal tries at first to kick it and knock it over. Doesn't work out quite so well, but as Q delivers another one of those jumping kicks to the face and it rocks backwards, Cal does kick its knee out from underneath it, and then scissor kicks it in the face.
I believe if it's facing mouse or at least away from me, rather than kick it in the face, I think I'm just gonna kick it in the nuts.
Just kick it in the nuts. That's
Just
terrible.
deliver another swift kick to the nuts.
It's terrible because between the two of you in these last two attacks, you have knocked it prone and done the last 2 damage it needed. So as it takes this kick right between the legs, it just
Second enemy I've defeated like this.
yeah, it's slightly disconcerting. You see sort of a
We'll start calling
flicker
him
of
Bull Breaker as
static.
a nickname.
You see a flicker of static as this interactive, fightable hologram just kind of flickers in and out and then just disappears, leaving you all standing around a empty space in air. But again, you see Alpha in the background, and he just cries out, "Fantastic teamwork, Rangers!"
I'm a hold up a hand for a high five with Q.
Q comes back in and takes the high five, and flips his helmet off. It's just like
Big ol'
big
welts.
red mark. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, how are we going to explain that one? I mean, you were in
Fell
the
in
park.
cheerleading practice.
Yeah, you know,
Don't-
trying to say, yeah, it could be cheerleading practice, it could be sparring with Pete, it could be anything.
Pete will run over and just say, "Wow, that awesome."
Yeah, Vic joiner. Great teamwork, guys.
Oh yeah, high fives all around to everybody.
Yeah.
Pete will just look over at Cal and be like, "Yes, Bullbreaker." Give him a high five. That's your new nickname now, Bullbreaker. You have to defeat at least one enemy every session.
One enemy a session.
And
That's
Yeah.
my
Can be done.
triple strike follow up, dude. 2 strikes with the attack and then just one swift kick to
Just
the
a kick.
nads.
Signature move unlocked.
I am going to go ahead
Bingo.
and give you a story point for your teamwork, because you are Power Rangers, you are a team, and I think that was a pretty awesome way to take down your big threat. It was very cinematic. I like.
It was not very Power Rangers, but it was very cinematic.
Yeah, I mean, you was doing really well with
was
the
that
sort of Power Rangers-y.
Really up until like the last hit.
Yeah, right up until that
Super
last
Power
kick.
Rangers right until I kicked in.
Yeah, just kind of like, oh, that happened.
These aren't your grandpappy's Power Rangers. this Yellow Ranger fights dirty.
Dirty but effective.
It worked.
Look, I mean, if it's worked twice, it is my belief that it'll keep working.
Until we come up against a female enemy.
Our first female enemy, there's
will
gonna be a solid 5 minutes where I stare at it like I don't. My power is useless here. Gotta go for a different weak spot.
Alpha looks across at the five of you and... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, it was just a moment of cool and breathe.
He looks proud. There's a certain twinkle in the red lights across the visor on his head dome. And he does just look proud at what you all accomplished together, even though the party was difficult to hit, shrugging off most of the blows. The fact that you got together as a team and took it down. He is very impressed with you all. Rangers, we have many other training simulations we can work through, but today you defeated your first threat, worked together as a team. I feel like you should enjoy the rest of your weekends. I see there's still celebrations going on to commemorate the time that the original Power Rangers spent fighting Rita and Lord Zed. And I do believe you should be able to attend those events. I ask only that you keep your communicator with you and your morpher with you at all times, should anything happen and the need to battle once again arise.
Will do, Alpha.
You got
Are
it.
you
We're
gonna
here.
be
Oh yeah, always.
okay here in this refrigerator by your own, Alpha?
Yeah, should we find a way to get you out of here?
Question: where are we?
I don't think this place has a door.
You've seen many things over the years. I do believe Do you remember seeing Tor, the shuttle Zord?
The turtle.
We
I
are in,
remember seeing a turtle.
we are in
Are we in
an
the turtle?
extra dimensional
Seeing a
space.
turtle.
We are in an extra dimensional
Right.
space inside Tor.
Wait.
Oh wow,
So
that's
we're in a
cool.
magical dimension inside a turtle.
So the turtle as a transport wasn't just carrying things inside it. It literally has another dimension inside it.
That is correct.
Grid power, get you some.
Yeah, that
has-
is awesome.
Many wonderful applications. Rangers, I will transport you home.
Wait, shouldn't we like unmorph first? Like just looking around, I think like we should change, right? We shouldn't go back down like this.
Yeah, maybe. How do I take this off?
Is there Q's just like, is there a zip? Have I got a zip?
I'm like looking at Q's back. It's like nope, no zipper back here. Guess that makes sense. You wouldn't want an enemy to unzip you during combat, but for getting them off, this is tough.
Is it neck entry?
Place your hand upon your morpher and just will your armor to disappear.
And Q kind of makes a face, and then sure
Okay, yeah,
enough,
that works.
he's back in his normal clothes. So it's like putting it on, but in reverse. That has a degree of sense to it. Yeah.
All right,
I kind of miss the way the suit feels, though.
aren't you still technically wearing a suit? Because like when you came here, you were wearing your Green Ranger cosplay.
You're wearing
but
your
mine
crap.
don't feel as
animation.
good. I just don't appreciate this as much anymore.
Like, oh, my muscles have gone.
Just kind of takes his shitty shield off, like
Can you summon
looks at
a
his suit like kind of sad.
can you summon a power dagger in this suit?
No. What kind of?
Yes, but it's cardboard.
No.
Just pulls it out. It's just like yeah. Alpha teleports you all back to the park or to your individual homes. That's your choice.
What time of day is it?
It's the middle of the afternoon.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's some cleanup that needs done at the park, or at least like So I'm headed to the park. I can't go home yet.
Should we go to the park? Maybe help clean up some of the mess we helped make.
Yeah.
Like we've been there all along.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, just integrate back into the crowd.
Flawless. We're good at this, guys.
How
Can
many
I-
points have I got in infiltration? Oh, none. Excellent.
Now that we're in, obviously, Tor and that, like, Peter's got his backpack on him still, hasn't he?
If you came
would
with
it
a
not be in
backpack, you have your backpack with you.
Cool. 'Cause I'm going to say he's got to change clothes in it. So he's going to change out of his crappy Power Rangers costume because he just doesn't feel that great in it anymore.
Doesn't feel like
yeah,
it's
once
quite
you've
as special.
experienced the real thing.
It's like when you go to Disneyland and then you go to Disney World, and then it's like, oh, right. Disneyland Paris, I should clarify.
Ah,
I've not been to the one in Anaheim, so yeah.
I was thinking, yes, that is what it's like to be in California. No offense.
Slightly disappointed.
No offense, man.
Sorry, California. We apologise. Please
Just-
don't sue us.
Yeah,
Like
just upset an
covering my
entire
eyes.
state. You
Look, for that to happen, it would require the entire state to be here and to hear me say that. So until then, I think I'm good.
it'd be a huge increase in viewer numbers all of a sudden. We know why.
The whole state of California is here to
just-
kick my ass.
Oops.
Yeah. We suddenly have an awful lot of viewers.
Yeah.
Oh, they all hate us.
Your
Anyway.
transported back to the park, sort of nestled between the trees and the bushes. Nobody visible. It seems like. Oh,
Michael's dead.
hopefully Michael.
We lost him.
Yeah.
Into a time vortex.
Come
Green
on.
Ranger's gone.
Right, that's it. I'm going to be having words with him. We can't have these many technical issues in one stream.
Cool.
I mean, to be fair, last stream was much worse.
This is true. We're getting there slowly
have
but
improved.
surely.
We have improved. Like, let's not sell ourselves short.
We are getting there slowly but surely.
So,
By like the 4th or 5th episode, everything
Now-
will be fine.
of
Knock
season
on
3.
wood. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
I'm being optimistic here.
So, now we're back at the park. The first thing that Q realizes is that his camera is not in his pocket, which is where he thought he'd left it. So he immediately comes to search for it. This is the camera that he got out as Rito arrived and was just surreptitiously recording him with it before all hell broke loose.
Yeah, Cal's gonna head down into this park. There's litter on the ground, so I'm gonna start
there's
taking
2
that out.
cows.
Yeah.
Wait, are there 2 of me?
There's 2 of all of us.
There's look,
How
we
are
are we're too early in the season.
Oh, wow, that's very
for-
interesting.
for an evil doppelganger episode.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Spider-Man me.
Q sees the camera where he left it on its tripod, right next to the fountain. With all of the fighting that had gone on, somehow, miraculously, it didn't seem
He's
to
alive.
have been knocked over.
Sorry, I don't know what happened then. My internet went all funny. Am I back?
You
You
are
are
back.
back. We can
You're
hear
back.
you.
Yes.
Awesome.
So the camera wasn't on my tripod. Sorry to contradict.
No, that's absolutely fine.
I collapsed the tripod in. I collapsed the tripod in the previous episode, and the little action camera was in my pocket, which I took out to film Rito.
Yes.
But then, when I thought I put it back in my pocket, I must have dropped it, so it tumbled to the floor and got some of what was going on.
Ew.
Ooh.
How much?
And then, second priority is to go and see if the pizza is still warm.
The pizza is still there.
Do you mean some of the stuff that we missed while we got teleported away?
Some of the stuff you missed, some of the teleporting.
I mean, Oh,
Oh,
god,
God,
if there might be film evidence of us being yoinked by the grid.
Oh, we better
Until I
find.
review
Have you
it, you
found...
will not know.
You have the camera though, yes?
I have the camera.
Okay, we're fine then. We're fine. We're safe. It's all good.
I quickly checked that the memory card is still in it.
I'm tempted to say no just
Which
to
I'm
be
assuming
cruel,
it is.
but
I
it is,
was going to say,
it is
don't
still
make it
there.
It's
roll.
gonna cost you a story point.
Yeah, she's like,
Because who in their right mind during like the putty invasion would run back into the park to yoink a memory card? Who did that? Gotta have words with them about personal safety.
you do find the slice of pizza still in the box.
Yeah.
It's still edible. It's a little bit harder than it would have been fresh, but it's not been that long an expanse of time. All of this has happened quite quickly. Your lives have been flipped upside
Someone
down.
in chat has said covered in ants. Pizza covered in ants.
Extra protein.
Yeah, just eat those ants. You got them.
Nummy.
And
Yeah, so if pizza is edible and not covered in ants, thank you, Mids,
it's good.
then Q will absolutely take a slice of pizza.
And there is a couple of other boxes of pizza over there as well. Just, nobody's helped themselves to. Maybe there's some more pizza in there if anybody else was hungry. There's some sandwiches over on the other table. Nobody's come back for their food yet. Probably because they're all still like, yay, Power Rangers. But also because the police have actually blocked off most of the street where the fighting had taken place. And
Wait, so how are we here?
You got,
Maybe we shouldn't hang out in this.
Yeah, we should
Aaron,
probably dip.
you do.
Peter's just
Suspicious
gonna
if-
swipe a pizza box and like start heading away.
I'm gonna quickly trundle some stuff up to like make sure that we're not like littering in the park, but
You do.
yeah, we
hear
we should try to rejoin a crowd or something.
hmm
You do hear some conversation on the other side. It seems to be some of the police officers that you guys had rescued who have come back to consciousness, having been tended to by first aiders. But there also seems to be a few other voices that seem quite authoritative, arguing with the police officers. You can't see them because of the hedges, but you do just hear, "Listen, I've spoken to your commissioner already. The entire site is ours. Anything we find we are able to take away. That is the agreement that was made years ago. The agreement still stands. Just secure the site. Make sure nobody comes in."
I'm gonna like
Alright.
tap everyone like just to be like, go that way. It's like as a hand gesture, it's like we should go in the opposite direction of whatever is happening there.
Yep, let's
Yep,
get out of here. Although, do we maybe want to find out what is going on over there, though?
I mean, listening in is one thing, but we should not walk out and be like, "Hey, we've been here."
I like that. Hi.
Good point. Should we,
Generally speaking, letting someone know that you're listening in on their conversation is a bad way to continue listening in on their conversation.
How thick
Good
is
point.
this hedgerow? If we crept up behind it, would we still be obscured?
It's about 4 foot thick. Yeah, you'd definitely be obscured. You've got nice grass underfoot, so you'd be able to hear them. Although you wouldn't be able to see them unless you kind of
No.
leaned over or around the
Yeah,
sides.
yeah.
I will Scooby-Doo creep to this side of the hedge to see if there's anything else worth hearing.
Have you got like a selfie stick or something you can put your camera on and like slide it through the bush?
Through the bush, Homer Simpson style. Like just
Yeah.
Is Q gonna try do that?
I was thinking about just holding the camera up at the top and just like using it as a periscope. But no, I think even he's not that stupid.
You hear what seems to be one half of a conversation, quite possibly taking place over the phone. Yeah, we're here already. Little bit of trouble with the local law enforcement, but I sorted I sorted it out already. Just going to have another word with the commissioner. They just seem to think they can do whatever they want. No debris, no weapons. A couple of putties. No, they don't look quite right. You've seen the footage. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll load it into the van. Maybe we can get something from it. And then you just hear that same voice shouting orders. Get the bags, just everything, just put it into one of the bags, just carry it out into the van, and we're gone. There doesn't seem to be anything useful. Hopefully we can get something from the video footage, try and figure out who these new rangers are.
And Pete's gonna kind of look over to Q and kind of like mouth, "They've got footage."
Q nods and then tips his head as if to say, "Let's rejoin with these guys." So, who is damage control? Whoever it is, they have footage which I guess is probably from all of the people with their cell phones.
One could hope.
Uh,
How do we know we're not caught on that footage somewhere? There are a lot of cameras here.
we don't, but we could ask. I don't know. Could we ask Alpha to check? Because I mean, he seems pretty advanced. He might have a
Maybe.
way of
Worth a shot. Let's
scrubbing
Let's
and
find a-
doctoring our.
Hey,
Uh,
Jameson. Sorry, Vic. You're quite tech savvy, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, man. If I can get the hook to those if I can get the hook to the main server, maybe I could erase the footage or link to it and erase some of the footage. Or if it got anything that's looks a little shady or
Okay.
might reveal us, yeah, we
Peter
could.
will radio to Alpha, and like say, hey, do you think you and Vic could maybe like figure out a way to erase the footage that these guys have got? What if we're on it being pinged up to you?
Rangers, check your phones.
Okay. Peter will put out his phone.
You see on social media everywhere is just videos and pictures of the 5 new Power Rangers. Nothing of your faces, nothing before you'd morphed and started fighting the putties. All of the sort of aftermath, the cars on fire, the putties on the floor, the police officers moved off to one side, Bulk and Skull's smiling faces as they cry out, "The Rangers are back!" But nothing
I'm
that...
scrolling through like Twitter, looking at comments on pictures. So,
So-
Yellow Ranger isn't a girl anymore. WTH.
Not green again? What's the odds of this one being evil? Did you all see that Red Ranger?
Bamf AF.
Did he just use that putty as a surfboard? Question mark.
There doesn't appear to be anything incriminating, but there is an awful lot of footage of you guys fighting the putties.
Well, one could assume if they had gotten us at any point, mask off, that that would be number one on trending. So
Yeah.
for now, I think we're good.
People turn to
about
everyone and say, "Hey guys, is it just me, or do we look really good?"
It's not just you.
Yeah, the cat's out of the bag now. Everybody knows we're back.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
we're here, but
New
the
and
Rangers are
improved.
back.
So Q pulls out his action cam and just replays the footage from Rito arriving. I think if it's okay with you, Matt, he's got footage of Rito arriving, of him like kicking the mayor off stage, and the putty's coming. And at that point, that's where Q thought he put it in his trouser, in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And it tumbles to the floor, but it's pointing to the sky. So all it gets is like us running off, and then like the screams of the crowd, and then the sounds of fighting. Somebody zips over the top, and a putty flies over the most comedy effect. And then there's kind of a moment of silence, and then lots of explosions as cars get turned over, and then kind of another round of violence occurs. With the various cries of "Ew, ew, get it off!" And then kind of you hear the round of applause of people as the Power Rangers have arrived. Maybe at some point it's been kicked, so it then flips over and it's just getting feet. And you just like start to see Power Ranger feet.
Someone would pay a
And then
lot
you
of
get-
money for this footage.
It's the best footage of Power
Yes.
Rangers ever.
Yeah. So it's called Nothing Incriminating,
No,
but
it's just like a
Yeah,
low
We could
budget
sell it as
action
well as
film.
Yeah, like
You could turn it as one of those
Cloverfield, but
ASMR
even
videos.
worse. Yeah, ASMR violence.
The sounds of Power Ranger fights. So- peacefully relaxed to the sound of Power Rangers fighting.
Fantastic. I'm going to say we're going to take a very short break. Say a very short break, maybe 5-10 minute break. Grab some drinks and everything, and we'll be right back with you guys for some more Power Ranger action.
Be sure to let us know if you can still
Alright.
hear us talking during that.
Yeah, we can't plot and
the
plan if you
mid-card.
guys can
Oh
hear
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Hello again, everybody. It's been an eventful couple of hours for our new Power Rangers. Even before they first got their morphers and first began fighting as the Power Rangers, they did jump into action straight away to help save everybody around them. And although it's sort of mid-afternoon, they make plans to meet up tomorrow back at the park for the carnival that's going to be happening as part of the celebration. And they each make their way to their respective homes. Who wants to volunteer to go first and tell us what being a Power Ranger means to their character?
I'll do it.
Go for it.
So when Cal gets home and he like takes a minute, he sits on his bed, and before he goes to sleep, he thinks to himself about like the fact that actually did just happen. I am now a Power Ranger, and he thinks back like to the original Power Rangers 10 years ago, and how like when they showed up, no one had any reason to fear. Like when they dropped into the world, everyone, like people would start crowding around rather than running away. They were a symbol of safety for everyone. And when they disappeared, it really did affect the community in like a terrible way, because even if there were no threats, like where did our heroes go? They removed that aura of safety. And Cal had decided a long time ago that like if the Power Rangers couldn't be here to save the world in a big way, then he would do his best to save the world in like small ways every day that he could. And now he is a Power Ranger, and he can make sure that that feeling of safety never leaves this town again.
Fantastic. Who's next?
Vic can go next. All right. So when Vic gets home, he's greeted by his stepfather and mother, and they're just happy that he's finally made some friends and came out of his shell from 10 years ago. So he just walks past them real quick, goes up to his room, goes into his bottom drawer and pulls out an old like box that has all his dad's firefighter badge, a picture of his dad, and he's looking at it and he's like, "Well, I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. You were saving lives, now Vic's out here saving lives." So he's just reflecting on, like missing his dad, and now he stepped up to become a hero of Angel Grove as well.
Fantastic.
I'll go next.
All right.
So Q walks kind of back home, and his house is kind of, for the sake of argument, I'm saying more or less next door to the dance studio that is my mate's. And he goes in because he knows that there are no classes on this Saturday because there are so many other things happening. And he just goes into one of the empty studios, cues up a song on his phone, and plops it into one of the what do we call them? Docking station. And it starts playing a song called Proud by an artist called Tomorrow. And he kind of throws his bag on the floor and shucks his top off and just kind of listens to the music, to the lyrics, and he starts dancing. Nothing that he's planned, not a formal routine, but just kind of flowing and going with the music, which is quite basic. It's kind of piano and vocal led, so he's moving in a very kind of lyrical, contemporary, smooth way. And in his head, he's reflecting on having lost Tommy, his former sensei, having lost Kim, who was a friend and kind of icon to him. He had worked with her both in terms of cheer prep, some acro to learn to help with his dancing. and kind of through his mum in the studio, they had a friendship that was kind of nice, and he kind of looked up to her. She was a bit of an inspiration of his. And as he starts to kind of process the pain and knowing that he's not going to see his friends, his inspirations, his leaders again, he just starts to cry whilst he's still moving, as he's kind of physically excising that emotion. And then kind of that pain starts to get replaced with the realization that he is now part of something much bigger than himself, much bigger than he ever considered he would be. He's had literal dreams of being something like a Power Ranger that is so meaningful, that is a symbol of hope for so many people, that he still can't quite believe that he is now actually a Power Ranger, and of all of them, he is the red one, which he had always, as a child growing up, he was always super enamored with the Red Ranger. So his emotions are kind of flowing, but the hurt and the pain and the upset, but then the pride and that swelling sense of duty that he now has. And as the song comes to an end and he finishes kind of on his knees, he is just completely exhausted with the emotional load of the day. And he grabs his bits and he heads back home. Has a brief, "Oh my God, thank God you're still alive," from his father's still at work. So he makes his excuses for having goes and has a shower, and then flops himself down on his bed.
Fantastic. Last but not least, how about Peter?
So when Peter gets home, he goes like straight into his room, closes his door, shuts all his curtains, like turns the light on, and like just pulls his morpher out and looks at it, and just shifts into his ranger suit, like in front of the mirror, just kind of like checks himself out, takes his helmet off, like, and looks at it. And as he's like kind of staring at like an almost familiar kind of helmet, it still has like a lot of design notes from the original green suit. He does like start thinking about Tommy, and it all starts settling back in. The realization that okay, maybe he is gone, like, and then thinking, I always thought like green disappeared and white come along, and all makes sense now. And he does get sad in the moment, but at the same time, he feels really proud of Tommy, knowing for certain that it was him. And he like looking at the helmet, he's like thinking it is Tommy there, like staring back at him. And he swears like that he'll live up to his legacy and like be the best goddamn ranger he can, and also promises to hit things really hard.
Sorry, I just love that you had to throw that last bit in there. We had quite lovely, quite in depth, real moments, and Peter is going to hit stuff really hard.
Yep, in Tommy's name, he's also going to adopt his "What's it here?" Just for good measure.
I'm going to go ahead and I am going to give you another story point for that. I was not expecting that to be quite as fantastic as it was. Just sort of dropped you on the spot a bit, and I love how your characters came through in that moment of roleplay. I think that was
I love
fantastic.
that aspect of Q kind of discovering, like not discovering, but sort of like coming to terms with his emotions through his movement. I thought that was quite a nice little note there.
It may be based on
Real
my
life
reality.
event.
Oh,
Don't worry.
Most
Most of Peter's character is just me, so don't worry.
That's when Q was going before Peter, I just thought in my head, man, this is gonna be a really like emotional story, and then it's gonna get to Peter, and Peter's gonna be like throwing a party because he's the Green Ranger. He's
Yeah.
gonna be "Ah!"
Yeah.
I wasn't
I
expecting
knew
that
it.
moment of quite deep thought, honouring the legacy of his teacher and the ranger that came
Yeah,
before
I
him.
was-
But, yeah,
I want to say he also like vows to find the white coin if it's still out there somewhere.
blown up,
The
100%.
pink one as well.
It's never going to
The
pop
pink
back
Oh,
one
up.
as well. Like, maybe the pink one.
Pink.
That's an afterthought. We'll find it. It could be
They should be together, innit? So return them both to the command center.
to our turtle world.
Toward the world.
Fantastic. We are going to move ahead to the next day. You guys had made some plans. I need to just try and sneak that out before anybody notices it.
Not looking. La, la, la.
That's fine. It's all good. We got rid of it. Nothing exists. Nobody knows what, it's all good. Everything's fine.
Man, those pigs are shiny.
It's a lot of pigs.
Sweat.
It's a hot day. You come to back to the park, the huge park where all the events have
Very
been
big
taking place, and you find yourself in the middle of a carnival. There are very brightly coloured tents, oddly enough, considering it's sort of celebrating the Power Rangers. We have a green, blue, yellow, slightly bigger red tent because of the red bias.
I was just about to say that red bias
Black,
seriously is
white,
strong,
and
innit?
pink tents. There is food everywhere. Lovely scents of just everything cooking. You can smell ribs, you can smell funnel cakes, corn dogs, caramel apples on a stick. There are turkey legs, kimchi, cheeses on cocktail sticks, kettle corn popcorn, chili cheese fries. There's even, oddly enough, some haggis. Unfortunately,
How did we get this?
Unfortunately, Miette Mouse wasn't able to join you today. You did get a message from her just to say that she was looking after her siblings, and she was sorry. She'll join you for your next outing. But as you come onto the scene, as you we'll drop some tokens down here for you guys, make life a little bit easier. You essentially encounter revelry in all of its forms. Everybody seems to be in high spirits. You see Eliza again doing an interview. She is standing in front of the enclosure with the pigs and seems to be interviewing a farmer while her cameraman records what's going on. Many of the people you saw yesterday are scattered around, but there are some new faces as well that you don't remember having come across before. Perhaps transfers to the UCAG. They do look of the similar age to the rest of you. You see carnival workers dotted about, games of skill and chance being competed in. Yeah.
Peter's gonna run over, all excited, to the pigs. It's like, guys, they've got pigs.
It's a lot of pigs.
Who's in charge of these pigs? Can we feed them?
They go off over to the pigs.
I'm gonna call this
He
one
reflects on-
bacon.
You know,
I'm gonna call this one
do you
pork chop.
remember the kids' nursery rhyme about this little piggy went to market, this little piggy stayed at home? For the longest time, I thought that this little piggy that went to market had just gone out shopping for the day.
No.
Now I
Market
understand
piggy
it
don't come
slightly
home.
differently.
But then, if that's the case, then what? If that's the right context, then what is the context of the one that went wee all the way home? Did he not sell well? Is he coming back from the market and celebrating not being sold? Or is he defective in some way? What's happening with the pigs? I have to know.
The ethical conundrum of nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, you broke me a little
Maybe it
bit
had
there.
a bladder problem. Maybe it didn't sell because it had a bladder problem, and that's why it went wee all the way home.
Also a possibility. Language is so diverse.
Yeah. So, what kind of games do we see? Like carnival games?
You see competitions of strength. There's a strong man with hammer in hand, basically challenging people to come up and take their chances, slamming the hammer into a plate to knock the thing right up into the bell. You do notice that Curtis, the football player, is currently up there, and he's just like, yeah, come on, like, I could do it, I'm going to get that prize. And as you hear him talking and you see him pointing, you realise that the prizes are stuffed toys, but stuffed toys that look very familiar. They are the Power Rangers of 10 years ago. You see reds, greens, blues, yellows, pinks, blacks, whites scattered about all of the tents. Some people are carrying them around with them.
Do they look like they're kind of new, or do they look like they've been in a warehouse for a decade?
Oh no, they look new. They look practically brand new.
Yeah, it took them 10 years to get the rights to make these toys.
They've only just started coming through production.
Yeah,
with
and now
the
there's a whole
delays
new set of
COVID
Power
and the
Rangers.
shipping thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've changed the suit, so they've got to start again.
Yeah, dude, yesterday a
on
marketing
sale.
executive saw us and was like, no! It can't!
It's just like, quickly, somebody
Oh.
get the rights to this now.
Who owns the rights? Probably Disney. Phone Disney immediately.
In the meantime, seeing that the strongman competition is like, the strongman thing is a thing, I'm gonna like tap Q on the shoulder and I'm like, dude, you got that.
Man, it's a shame Mouse is here. She would nail.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that hammer and I got nostalgic for yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, in the immortal words of my favourite Villainese, I'm going to have to go and smash it with a hammer! And Q makes his way. Or maybe to save
Being-
on
Being the friendly rivalry between the two of them, Pete will also come.
Cal
Oh.
is like keeping the whole eye on like seeing his teammates and new friends, I guess. Doing that, but he's also making the rounds, talking to people, like giving like, "Hi, how you doing? You okay from yesterday?" type stuff. How you like what you doing here? Like anything going on? Type like just making the rounds, talking to people, having a good time, making sure to not interrupt the camera crew while they're actually filming, but making a note to come back later while they're like off roll to be like, "Hey, are you guys okay?" Like,
Yeah, and Vic is going to lag behind Q and Peter and he's just gonna commentate while he watches them to compete.
And in
Nice.
this corner,
He didn't have no say.
In the
Yeah.
red corner, or just to piss them off, in the blue and in the pink corner.
Yeah, I'd be like, I
Awesome.
just stir some
So-
up. Yeah, I wonder who's really the strongest, the red or the green.
let's find out today. You see Curtis.
Vic has found an announcer's booth.
Yeah, he's just like
Yeah.
Picked up a bullhorn.
just calling everybody round to
Yeah.
watch. You see Curtis take up the mallet. He swings it, strikes the pads, and the metal puck goes flying upwards, but misses the bell by about a foot, falling back down to the floor with just a ting. He looks over at the strongman. He's just like, "This, come on, this has got to be rigged. Have you seen these muscles?" It's just like, not everybody's a winner. You there, he says, pointing over at Q. He's like, step right up. Let's see if you have what it takes.
Peter was just like pat him on the back going, "You got this, buddy."
I hope so.
It's a rivalry, but he wants him to do well.
So yeah, he will step up, kind of crack his thumbs and knuckles, and take the hammer from Curtis. To start kind of weighing it up, kind of seeing where its center point is, stuff like that.
Curtis seems a little reluctant to sort of let you take the hammer. He's kind of clutching it, and you kind of almost have to tug it away from him. But as you do, kind of put some pressure on, he just drops his arm, puts his other arm around Ethan, and they kind of walk off. Not in a
I was gonna
huff
say to him,
completely,
"It's okay, I'll
but
do it in your honor."
yeah.
I'll do it in your honor.
I need you to make me either an athletics or a might skill test.
I will go for might, unsurprisingly.
Fantastic.
That might not surprise you.
It might
I
not.
also feel some might coming in my future.
Ha!
Difficulty.
Wordplay.
You're welcome. Difficulty?
It's kind of a sliding difficulty, so pop it on as 20, and there's different
Okay.
results depending on how well you do.
Gotcha. Have I got anything that comes into play? No. But I do chuck my phone to Vic and go, "Can you film this? It'll be good watching me fail." For
Yo,
my
and
Instagram profile. Yeah.
and Vic pulls out his camera. He says, "I'm catching all of this. I'm not missing a second."
Man, and that was a crap swing. 8.
Yo, that's the mind of a content creator right there.
You see Q strike the plate. The puck starts to go flying upwards. It reaches just past the halfway point before it loses its momentum and just slams back down with a ting. The strongman just sort of flexes a muscle dramatically, very kind of like, look at me, as he twirls his moustache and reaches out a hand. Unfortunately, that is not enough to win a prize, but congratulations for trying. I'm sure all of your friends and fans think you looked great.
Yeah, hammers are just not my weapon of choice. And he
Just like
hands it to
look,
me.
Pete will happily take the hammer, and he'll walk
What?
up and kind of like do the old stretch, and yeah, he's
I-
gonna smash it with a hammer.
I was going to say, just before you do that, can using my teacher perk,
Ooh.
could I lend assistance to give an additional edge on the grounds of saying, if you take like half a step further back, so just try and give him
Get
what
some
I've
better
learned.
leverage in it.
If you're a bit further back, so that you've got the hammer hitting exactly in the middle of the target, that it will balance the pressure more appropriately, just to try and help at least one of us win.
Fantastic. So that will be.
Should I re-roll with it?
Roll again, and it's with. So you get an additional edge, don't you, with your teacher perk? Well,
Yes,
I was going to
additional
say
edge.
that is an edge and an upshift. I think you're
That'll do.
pretty much crushed it. Yeah. Guided by Q.
To be fair, I did kind of want to fail just because I had something funny in mind later on, but never mind. I'll take the win.
I was say you don't have to take Quinn's advice.
I'll take the
you
win.
could just do
I'll
whatever
take the
you
win.
wanted anyway.
You can do it instead. It'll be fine. I'll explain it to you later.
Guided by Q, Peter steps up and he hits it with a surprising amount of strength, but also a surprising amount of precision. There's just a boom. Thank you, chat. There is just a boom as the hammer hits the metal plate. The puck goes flying up, 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 ting, hits the top, and then slides back down to the bottom. The strong man looks over at the two of you as if for a second he's thinking about accusing you of cheating. But there was nothing in the rules that said you couldn't sort of talk each other up. And he just takes the hammer off of Peter, holds it up aloft as if it was a bunch of flowers, a bouquet of flowers, showing off again for the crowd, and just shouts,
Oh God, he's gonna throw it into the crowd.
"We have a winner! Step right up, laddie, and just pick a prize." And there is a huge range of prizes. There's a football, a soccer ball, a taco-shaped sling bag, a giant stuffed blue unicorn, a yellow
Wait, hold
teddy
on.
bear.
Question: the taco-shaped sling bag. Do you just mean in shape, or is it a sling bag that looks like a taco?
Oh, it looks like a taco.
Like a giant
yeah,
taco.
it's just like a giant taco.
That is something I want in real life now.
There is.
I need that.
There's a yellow stuffed teddy bear, a ostrich soft toy, a floppy-eared dog, and there's also a Mighty Morphing Red Power Ranger and a Mighty Morphing Pink Power Ranger. It's about sort of like 2 foot, 2.5 foot big. Well, laddie, what do you choose?
I hate to swing for the red bias, but I'll grab the Red Ranger plushie, and then I'll like toss it to Q, just be like, "Cheers for the tips, man. Wouldn't have done it without you." He don't care about the prize. He just wanted to win.
Chat says you should have
And
gone
Vic's
with
like,
the blue
see,
unicorn,
that's
just
what
for the record.
I was
would've gone with the
tempted.
ostrich and
About to
called
say
it Emmanuel.
something. Vic was about to say something about that blue unicorn. He was a little biased.
I hear you.
Also, is the ostrich like a plushie you've seen in real life? Because it's not in like the first 10 animals. I would think, yeah, I want a stuffed version of that. It's like, yes, stuffed animals, all the classics: dog, cat, ostrich.
Andrew Grove.
Angel Grove. Well, yeah, Angel Grove. I mean, there's a
Angel Grove.
taco-shaped... There's a taco bag, and you're going for the ostrich. Like, you know, all of the stuff that's there, and you're picking on the ostrich?
I think I know why you said ostrich from a previous conversation.
Oh, so it was a bit.
Yeah, it is definitely a Power Rangers niche reference that I don't get, but I know that there's a thing that I'm saying no more.
To the everybody, if anybody was to find an ostrich soft toy, this guy. Just saying.
And this is a complete non-game sidebar. Have you seen the videos of Emmanuel the ostrich?
No.
I
And
have
the girl
not.
that works on a farm with him? It's hilarious. You just have to look it up. I can't try and explain it, but look up Emmanuel the ostrich.
I will be googling
Alright.
this
No,
after
need
this.
it.
Yeah, I'll be googling this after the game.
Added to
Yeah.
search history.
You, as Peter hands over this red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger toy, out of the corner of your eye, I need to get rid of something else because no, if I move it down here, that should be fine. Yeah, out of the corner of your eye over here, you see sudden movement. There's a teenager who had been climbing over a rope bridge that's just sort of pushed from one direction to the other. Oh, Brian's just dropped a link into the chat, and now I'm very curious.
Oh god, dude, the ostrich plushie is here.
Uh,
There it is.
Brian wouldn't break my heart like that.
Thing is a nightmare. that is a horrible fucking plushie.
Oh god!
Oh my god.
I don't want to click on the link. I don't want
Don't.
to click on it. No, I'm not.
Big recommendation.
No.
Don't do it.
I'm ignoring the
But a
chat.
very loving-looking ginger child.
I'm ignoring the
That is
chat.
like cuddling it.
That thing is
Brian.
gonna haunt my dreams tonight. I think it's awful looking.
Um,
Oh god.
you see a
Crashing
rope
by for a
ladder.
wagon wheel.
Ryan, why would you do that to me? I thought we were cool.
I'll be having words. I'm not very no. I'm not clicking the link, Brian. No. No. You see a rope ladder stretched out like a bridge, and you see somebody who's crawling across it trying to keep hold, but just as they reach for the next rung, the whole bridge spins round. The teenager that's clutching to it just drops to the ground with a thud, and the carnival worker just starts heckling him. Oh, so close. I mean, you lose, but it was a nice try. Do you want to go again? Third time's the charm. I'm sure you'll get it this time. No? A little bit too bruised. Oh, maybe somebody else thinks they're talented enough, fast enough, careful enough to make the Bridge of Doom.
Now you're just like
You just-
taunting me.
Q just nudges Callum Vic, and it's just like, right, that's enough humiliation for me for one day.
Oh, so you're
I
passing the
think you
buck?
should.
Gotcha.
Yeah, totally.
Cal fully knowing that like this has great potential to just like backfire on me horribly. Is like, you know what? Yeah, sure. let's I'll give it a
It'd
try.
be fine.
It'll be fine.
And follows him over.
It'll be fine. The words printed right below a black and white photo of my character portrait. 2022 to 2022, rip. It'll be fine.
I need you to make an acrobatics roll for me. Difficulty is
Well,
20
I
again.
do have the ability to do that. Yeah, that's okay.
It might work.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you've rolled a couple of 20s today.
Yeah, yep. You know, I have rolled a couple 20s. That's a 17.
I like that. I have rolled a couple of 20s. Everything. Oh no. It was.
Hey,
pretty
but
close.
20 on that one initiative check.
You did get 20 on
Alright.
the initiative track. Cal is making some progress. He's definitely doing better than the teenager who's kind of stepped back. He's standing with a young girl with sort of bluish purple hair, and as Cal slowly but carefully pulls himself across the bridge, the crowd begins to cheer. It's like, go on! You can do it! So, come on, you're so close!
My flow state. My flow state, no!
And then, as Cal reaches for the last rung, he's like so close, he's right there. He goes to grab a hold of it, and it just spins rounds and dumps him on the ground with a thump. The carnival worker just sort of shouts out at you. It's so close. But this isn't horseshoes.
Yeah, it was a good run.
Close doesn't count.
Cal stands up, and like gives a, well, what are you gonna do? Type shrug to like the crowd and to his team. He's just like, and is like he's like going around like keeping spirits high, like making sure that one kid who is getting like low key roasted by the carnival worker.
I wouldn't even see low key. She was proper. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making sure that like I just want to make sure it's like, yes, it's hard. Like what we know that's difficult. It's terrible.
Yeah. What a bitch.
Yeah.
She calls out after
Looks
you.
rigged
Like,
to me.
anybody else brave enough to try the bridge? Come on.
This does not.
One of you has to have
Speciality,
some guts.
It's being
Vic, yeah,
Peter's
Vic,
just thinking
Vic looking
about-
on left and right. Vic's looking left and right. Like he takes his glasses off. Like, I'll give it a try. He still
Hell,
put,
You, sir, can you do it? Can
I
you cross the bridge?
People like hold Vic's glasses for him.
yeah, he
Like,
I
yeah,
got
he
it.
hands Peter the glass. Alright.
Go ahead and
Let's
make that
see.
acrobatics roll for me.
come on,
Come on, lucky 20.
2 nat 20s.
Pew pew.
Damn. Erp.
Um,
Son of a. The other one was a 19.
yeah, I just saw that. If you had yeah. Vic doesn't make it more than 2 rungs. He sort of stretches to grab a hold of the thirds, but as he does, he doesn't even manage to flip it. His foot goes through one gap, his arm goes through the other, he gets all tangled up, and the carnival worker actually has to come over and give him a hand in sort of untangling himself from the bridge before it could be damaged. Just, oh!
It's difficult.
And Vic just standing there like, I am not having fun anymore. This is not fun.
Good
the
time
people
gone.
run over, like, try and help and
He started
untangle
calling
him.
the others Cal, Q, Peter, get me
Yeah.
out of here.
Yep. Help get him out of that thing.
She holds up both of her hands, one sort of floating just over like Cal's head, the other Vic's. It's like one got so close, the other barely made it off the starting line. Anybody else
right, now,
brave
come-
enough to try
now,
the
come on.
bridge?
Come on, you're better than that.
Anybody else want an attempt?
Okay, Pete will step up. Pete will step up.
Avenge us.
Damn it.
I
Get
can't
him,
have it.
Did you say acrobatics? Yeah.
Acrobatics, yep.
Okay, at least I have
Wait,
a
before he goes, I want to know how viable this is, because I have the I know a guy perk. So could I maybe convince someone, perhaps the girl that like was getting like heckled and bullied by this guy, to possibly draw his attention long enough for Peter to like get through it real fast, so that he doesn't have time to like fuck with him.
Yeah, you recognise this teenager as one of the teenagers that has come into the community centre where you've been working
I should mention I do have to make a persuasion roll
Yep.
too for like anything I want to happen.
Mhm.
But just if I could use it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make the roll for me. As I said, she's a teenager that's been coming into the community centre. You've met her a few times, helped her out with some bits and pieces. She doesn't owe you a favour, but, you know,
All right.
friends help each other out.
All right. Come on. Yeah. It's all about the community. Big money, no whammies.
Mm.
That's. I mean, I did fumble, so I
You
could.
did fumble. Do you want to re-roll, or do you want to take the story
I
point?
would like to re-roll that if y'all don't mind.
Go for it.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Difficulty of 12. And
so
still not
that
close enough.
is a 7. Close, but no cigar.
Ah,
she-
well.
She does sort of look over you, and she's just like, I'm not drawing her attention. Do you see the horrible things she keeps saying about people? And she kind of pops her head down, shoves her hands in her pocket, and just walks off with her friends.
Can't even be mad. That's fair enough.
Couldn't Cal just draw their attention?
I could also try to do that. But I have no performance as opposed to my persuasion.
Red Ranger? Does Red
Yeah.
Ranger have any performance?
He might have 1 or 2 points.
One, two, a D12.
Yeah.
To distract, give me some sort of boosty boost. Don't know what boosty boost it'll give me, but boosty boost.
Well, the thing is, I don't have a perk to boost you by distracting.
I mean, look,
No.
the way I see it, if we distract him, we can cheat.
That's not very Power Ranger like now, is it?
That is
Are
not
we
very
currently the Power
Ranger-like.
Rangers?
That is
That
for
would actually be
sure.
very bad for me to do. To
I
knowingly
have
break
the
the rules.
persuasion.
Not be-
I made it halfway.
What can I say? The Bridge of Doom, too good, too strong for us.
And he
You know, like,
does.
it's-
Peter does make it halfway, and he's looking like he might have it. He's going steady, not too quick. And as he does just pass the halfway point, he somehow, it's like you blink for a second, you look away, you look back, and Peter's top half is through the gap. The bridge is actually on its side. One of his legs is sticking out one way, his arm's sticking out the other way. And the carnival worker just looks over at Peter and it's just like, how?
I'm gonna help pull him out of that.
There's not even any follow-up heckling or anything. She's just like,
Utterly
how?
baffled.
Yeah.
How could this happen to you?
I think Quinn would like to give it a go.
Come
But
on, big
I'm
money,
gonna
no
pitch
whammies.
this
Yeah.
hashtag sales pitch.
Vic,
By arguing that because it's about grace and poise, balance, that my art could come into play as a dancer.
Ooh.
This man just dances across the Bridge of Doom.
You're just
I'm
gonna
for it.
try and dance
I must
across
dance.
it using your performance instead of your acrobatics.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is what we want to happen.
Or is there the bleed through? Because my influence perk for artisan is that I gain an edge when my art comes. So if my dancing
Oh,
comes
It's a
into
form
play,
of art.
that is
yeah,
an
because it's about
interesting
using
question.
that core stability,
Yeah.
like
Is
balancing in weird positions. So is it
Good way to
plausible that I
twist it.
could do it to get an edge?
I'm looking at the
Sudden
stream
rush of
chat.
dogs.
I don't see an answer yet.
Your art is dance. It does involve a lot of balance, and I will say yes. I think it's
I'll
a
fail
good
with
use
an
of an
edge.
influence. If you
Hell
fail
yeah,
with
cool.
edge, we will heckle you.
Yeah, no, that's to be
In real
expected.
life, we will
Yeah.
bully you for this.
Just lightly heckle.
Come on.
Difficulty was 20, was
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody cross fingers.
Edge.
Mm.
Oh, man.
So close. So unbelievably close. Like, out of everybody, Q has made it the furthest. He has a hand on the last rung. He is about to pull himself to the end of the bridge when catastrophe strikes.
I just see him going. He's getting to. He's like, guys, I think I've got this. Guys, I think
Yo,
I've got
he's
this.
doing it.
I'm
He's
doing
doing it.
I'm doing
Come on,
it.
dude.
Go.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Let's go.
Never mind. As you were.
It seems like none of you are quite as careful, quite as fast, quite as precise as you thought you were. We've had some good attempts, ladies and gentlemen. We've had some come very close, but close does not win you a prize.
Hugh is kind of laughing about it, about being so close, and then hopes dashed at the last minute as the
Yeah.
thought pops into his head that he could really, they could really have done with Kimberly at that point. And then there's that pang of like pain and sadness as he realizes that.
Can I say, knowing Q quite well, Pete kind of clocks this, and kind of just like says to him, "I know what you're thinking, dude. I know how you feel. Don't worry."
He kind of takes a breath and shakes it and goes, "Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So what's next?
From the
Moving
green-
swiftly on.
Yeah. From the green tent, where a carnival worker with a waxed moustache and a lovely hat upon his head stands in front of a table with a single wooden pin standing on its centre. He cries out to everybody, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come one, come all to see if you have the strength. See if you have the agility. See if you have the sharp reflexes to win a prize at the Swingerling."
That
What
is
the
not
goddamn
what
hell
they
is a
called it.
swingerling?
That's one girl.
Yeah, I need to go see what that is just to.
We need to find out what this is.
Yeah, why
Is
they
this an
call it
18
that?
plus 10? I'm not sure that. Should we be going there?
I mean, I'm over 18. How old are you? Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Make sure of age.
You
Last
see,
time a man asked me if I wanted to see a swingerling, my mother forbade it.
At this point, we all should have just taken the.
Matt.
Look, at some point, we all should have just taken the comedian origin or whatever it is. Because
Forbidden.
Story points for days.
we would have so many story points.
deep breath. Deep breath. The wooden pin sits
Humble.
on a table. Above it hangs a ball suspended from a rope, which the carnival worker grabs, pulls, and releases with a flourish. The ball swings past the pin and then knocks the pin over as it returns. He picks the pin back up, places it on the table, and just looks across at all of you, holding a cane in one hand, using it to point at the crowd. Do any of you have what it takes? He looks over at Cal, just like, "You, sir, you look like you might have what it takes to win at Swingerling."
Oh, every time you call it that makes me want to participate less. Sure, I'll give it a shot.
Pia will just turn to Cal and go, "Are you sure you want to be like Swingerling champion? Like
To be perfectly honest with you, no, I don't. But
that doesn't sound like a good name."
Cal will step up regardless.
So
Considering one of your nicknames is already Ballbreaker.
Dude, I'm every euphemism we can get will come straight to Cal.
this one's an interesting
Yeah,
one.
well, it's always
All right.
This is a science skill test.
Well. Oh, because you're not trying to hit it on the forward when you're trying to get it to swing up and then come back and hit it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have science, but 20 is still going to be hard to hit. So, prep for failure. Here we go. And Baba Booey.
Re-roll
Yeah,
the 1d20
no
because
chance.
I was just about to say, because you recognise the physics element of it, you get an edge. So
Oh.
just do
I
in the
mean,
chat.
no.
No.
No,
No.
you don't get it. Did you self-sabotage that Swingerling just because you didn't want to be
Yes.
Swingerling forever?
Yes, I did. Definitely was doing that. But hey, nat 20 on an initiative check of all things. Remember that? This is what I knew would happen. I've prepared for this.
I was. So there's just the science check was to try and work out how to do it. You still get a test to see if you can do it.
Oh, great.
It is either finesse or science.
It's the same either way for me. So here we go.
Take a shot.
I thought you had a lot for this.
Third failing roll coming in. And that's a win.
Whoa.
That,
That's it,
guys,
Swingerling
is where
rides
you still
again.
take a roll.
Let that be a lesson.
Yes.
Let that be a lesson to everyone at home. If you say you'll fail every time, sometimes you'll be surprised.
Sometimes you might succeed.
The math
Cal-
of a negative times a negative equals a positive.
Cal takes up
Statistically,
the-
if I roll enough dice.
one of them's got to be higher.
Exactly.
Yeah. But Cal takes up the ball on the string. He releases it carefully. It swings past the pin, but as it gets to the top of its swing, it comes back and curves just slightly, just enough to give the ball a little bit of spin. And it strikes the pin right in the centre, knocking it off the table and onto the floor. Except just before it can strike the floor, the curved end of the carnival worker's cane sort of lunges out, catches it, flicks it back up and onto the table with all the practice, all the grace, all the dexterity of someone who's done this a significant amount of times.
These carnies are evil. They're too good.
Evil carnies!
These carnies are aliens in disguise.
Maybe. Who knows? But he does look over at Cal and just gestures towards the prizes in the tent behind him. There's taffy, an oversized pair of sunglasses, a cheeseburger-shaped backpack,
Steven Universe.
a stuffed ostrich, because I like stuffed ostriches, and there is a blue Mighty Morphing stuffed toy and a black Mighty Morphing stuffed toy.
All right, look. Thematically, I should be taking those Power Ranger plushies.
You go
But-
for the burger backpack, right?
No, the one. What's the one you said before the burger backpack? It was
the oversized pair of pink sunglasses.
Yeah, like an oversized, just
Like-
giant novelty glasses. Just, oh, that appeals to me. That appeals to me a lot. No, I'll stick with the theme. And I will take the blue Power Ranger. I'll take the blue one.
Fantastic. The carnival worker does cry out. He's like,
That was
one person so far today has beaten the Swingerling Challenge. Are there any others amongst you?
This is like action.
He's just like, are there
Cal's
any others
eyes are
amongst
like-
you?
There's no life in Cal's eyes. He's just so upset about like Swingerling.
Why does it have to be swinging?
He's even holding his cane up in the air so that the curved end is pointing down at Cal, like trying to get everybody's attention. He's like, are there any
He was
others
totally going,
amongst you?
it's him! It's him!
It's him.
He is the
Everybody here.
Swingerling King!
He is.
Like-
Can anybody knock him off his
Fucking-
Swingerling throne?
Like Cal is like smiling to like play up to the crowd. Eyes are so dead. He's just like, kill me.
The
Someone
smile's
in my
not
life.
there.
Exactly.
Q turns to Vic, and he's just like,
Vic and Vic
swinging.
says, yeah, maybe I can figure out the science of this thing like Cal did. So it's on.
So you
Just,
can you can make a science skill test first to see if you can figure out the maths behind it.
Okay. Can I use my Eureka perk if I have to roll anything with that has to do with smarts? I get an edge.
You can indeed.
all right, let's go. Get this shit. Let's
Go
get
go
this
Blue
shit.
Ranger.
Come on.
Edge on any smarts roll is amazing.
Blue Ranger's going to show
You're
everybody up
gonna
here.
do it, Vic.
Hopefully,
Come on.
if he doesn't, we're going to be.
So when I okay, now it's time for my Ricky question. So when I get ready to do the edge, what would it be up under? Will it be up on the
as you-
skill shift or does
Nope, it's the
not the
last
skill
point.
shift.
Yeah, when you
It's-
after you put the difficulty in, you get it next.
Yeah, the
It's
okay.
panel is
before-
normal. You put it to edge.
gotcha? And the difficulty was
The
20, correct?
difficulty, the first difficulty is 15,
15.
as you're
Okay,
trying to
gotcha.
work out how it works. See if you can.
All right, let's see. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it.
Fantastic. So Vic sort of studies what Cal did, but he also studies how the carnival worker had thrown it. The way that it doesn't throw it at or even around the pin. There's almost an art to throwing it off at an angle so that when it comes back with that pendulum effect, it will just strike with enough force to knock it over. And Vic gains an edge when he makes this next skill check, which would be finesse or science, although the difficulty for this one is 20.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean, shit. If you roll science again, you just keep that edge.
Yeah. Yeah. On this one.
19 and an 18. Here they come. Guaranteed. Yes!
Oh,
Can everybody just a moment to
Yes.
just
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
More phenomenal.
Peter's just losing his shit. He's just like, woo!
and even in the crowd, people are cheering because there are now 2 swinging champions.
Cal is looking at Vic like, yes, suffer with me.
Kings of feelings.
And the carnival worker gestures with the cane, having caught the pin on the toe of his shoe. He gestures with the cane over at all of the different toys, all the different prizes, and what do you pick, Sonny? What prize is yours?
Um,
Did you want me to go through them again?
Nah, Vix. What? It was the ostrich, and the other rangers, right? The other
Yeah,
ranger
so
colors,
there's
correct?
was
an
a- there was a
ostrich
black
or a
ranger.
blue or black.
I will get the black in honor of Mouse,
She's with you in spirit,
Yeah.
even if she isn't here,
who's with
unfortunately, for
who.
the day. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
The carnival worker sort of knocks the pin up into the air, catches it on his chin, head balanced back, just balancing it there, and then just sort of nudges his head forward for the pin to drop onto the table. It wobbles a little bit, but just stands still at the end. Anybody else feel like becoming a swingling champion?
Q just says, "No, I'm quite happy to not ever be known as a swingerling king."
As Q goes to like turn around, I put a hand on his shoulder. And I'm like, Paul, come with us.
Join
Piers
us and
also
become
got no play
a master
about-
of the swing and ling.
No, I don't think
None
I
of
could
that.
ever match your swingerlingness.
Your swingerling prowess.
The prowess of my ling and how it doth swing.
Yeah. It is a very cunning swingerling.
Yeah.
20 fucking story points for all these comedians.
Yeah, as I've mentioned on multiple occasions, at least to my players. I think I've also mentioned it on at least a stream, but it's very easy to make me laugh. Awful dad puns absolutely slay me. I am so glad that nobody took comedic, because there'd be so many story points. So many
will
story
Lead
points.
to a whole new chest of jokes.
Yeah.
I can't hold all these story points. It's too many.
But there are other rides in the fairgrounds. There's a Ferris wheel that's just drifting slowly, lazily through the air. There's bumper cars, bouncy castles, bobbing for apples. There's a contest taking place right now. Eliza is still talking with the farmer, but the judges are in with the pigs at the moment, and they're presenting prizes to them for biggest pig, best pig. There's ribbons that they're giving to the
Biggest
farmers, and like little ribbons they're tying round the pigs, like ears, just a little pretty little ribbon in a bow, and you can hear that Cupcake, the biggest of the pigs, has just won first prize. There's a food court.
Yeah,
Starts cheering
Cupcake!
really emphatically for Cupcake the pig.
Just everybody, yeah.
I'm sure bacon was
All those early
Who
mornings
doesn't
in the
love
gym,
bacon?
Cupcake, that's what it's about, yeah.
Oh, no, go away.
I would die for Cupcake.
I love that.
Oh, the line that came into my head, I've had to self-censor it that bad.
As the prizes are being handed out, people are still still competing. Nobody seems to be capable of crossing the rope bridge of doom. Kind of wondering whether or not there's some cheating going on there. But, who am I to throw
All
dodgy
shenanigans.
looks? Yeah. But
I mean, look, it'll all make sense if the carnival workers are all evil and from space.
Agreed.
one of the things that is currently happening, you can hear children laughing. You can hear them crying out in joy. Something seems to have set them all off. And as you walk around the tents, heading towards the display for the pigs, the pig pen, because the word couldn't come out of my mouth, you find somebody walking ahead of a small group of children. He has a baseball cap on. He's got a collar around his neck with a microphone that he's using to amplify his voice. And on a leash, which has a bit of slack to it, he is directing a large 7.5-foot tall bird. An ostrich.
Good ostrich!
It's Kevin.
How did you get that in California?
The animal handler is giving a bit of a talk. We would like you all to meet Clancy the ostrich. Clancy is a blue-necked or Somali ostrich from the country of Somalia in Africa. Clancy weighs 280 pounds and can use her giant, well-developed eyes to see up to 2 miles away and can run at speeds up to 43 miles an hour. That means that Clancy could finish a marathon in 40 minutes. You don't want an ostrich mad at you. Now, if Clancy's wing feathers puff up and get ruffled, you know she doesn't like you. But if she gives you a light peck on the hand, then Clancy probably thinks of you as a friend. Or she thinks you have food. What do you think of all these nice people, Clancy? Clancy approaches Cal first. She sort
Frozen in
of
terror.
looks over at him, and her head twitches one way or another. You can make a animal handling or streetwise check.
Michael has died yet again.
Michael has
He's back.
magic. He's missed Clancy.
Hello?
He's back.
Welcome back.
Yep, we got you.
Excellent.
Did
The
you miss
ostrich
Clancy?
killed you for a second.
No!
Also, something happened to Vic's camera. I don't know
Yes. Have
Am
we
I back?
what. Vocally, we can hear you. Your
We have
camera is
audio.
currently loading. Wait,
there
there
we
you
go.
are.
Oh,
Okay,
fantastic.
everything's fine.
Okay.
Also, I have to make a streetwise or animal handling, I guess is what you were going to say.
Streetwise or animal handling, yes.
Streetwise, I guess. I have the D4 in that. God, I can't believe there is an ostrich. Difficulty 20?
Difficulty 15, 1-5.
Okay.
What are you doing to the ostrich?
Trying not to get attacked by it is what I'm doing with this ostrich. Also, before I roll this, I would like to point out that the token you have for that ostrich is for sure pogging. That is a pog stritch. Anyway,
Ooh.
pass.
The ostrich
What noise
continues.
does it make, Matt?
I don't know what noise an ostrich makes, actually. I feel like I should have looked this up.
It was you. You just went, ooh.
Ooh.
Pog stritch.
Clancy the ostrich sort of head bobs side to side and then just reaches out very carefully, very delicately, and just lightly pecks Cal on the hand. And as
You forgot who I was for a
I
second.
did for a
didn't you?
second, yes, I did. I put my hand up. As she brings her head back, you look into eyeballs 5 times the size of your own. You see yourself in the reflection. Her eyes blink slowly and then pecks you once on the right shoulder, once on the left shoulder, and then finally once on the top of your head. She takes a small step forward and lays her head on top of yours in something like a bird hug.
Cal is frozen in fear.
He's just like, oh my god, it's adorable.
Someone get this bird off me.
And I
Vic.
whispered to Q, like, this is like that scene from Jurassic Park.
The
Help
T-Rex
me.
scene, yeah?
Somebody help me.
Vic, it's your turn. Animal handling or streetwise skill test.
I will use Streetwise. Let's see. Let me get to it.
Someone has very lovely sent a YouTube link to what sound an ostrich makes. Yeah,
Did we just get a bot?
I think we did.
What difficult level?
15.
The difficulty level is 15.
15? Okay.
Also,
Oh.
that noise you played, fake. No way, that's what an ostrich
I was
sounds
going to
like.
say that sounded way
They
too
make a
pleasant.
weird chirpy noise.
That sounded
Yeah,
way
they make a
too
weird chirpy
pleasant.
noise.
That was a spaceship. What?
I'm just thinking, Hey in Moana, when he realizes he's on a ship at sea and he just screams.
Yeah.
That's how I'm
Um,
imagining the
I'm trying to keep focused, but I have to say, Alan Tudyk is probably one of my favourite actors, and the fact that is his entire role in the film, just
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk is just here to scream.
he's just
Yeah, as
he's
a
just
chicken.
hey. Yeah, he
Yep.
just makes chicken noises for an entire film. But Clancy removes her head from on top of Cal's head, reaches over and lightly pecks Vic on the hand. She doesn't repeat the same sort of ritual that she did before, but
Cal has like full step. He took like 2 steps back to make sure he was out of the animal's like periphery, and then just like backed up like a full like 20 feet.
Cal's like close to running from the group at this point.
I need to be nowhere near that bird.
Peter, you're up.
Cool. I'll use animal handling, I suppose. I have a D2 in both, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I failed.
Fancy.
You did fail.
I'm gonna get pecked by an ostrich.
The ostrich pulls out a gun.
Give me your money. Your money or your life. Aga.
All the bird seeds.
Oh my god.
She reaches forwards, her wings spread out angrily, and she does deliver a peck to the top of Peter's head. It hurts, though it doesn't. The skin doesn't break. It's pretty certain that Peter will probably have a bit of a bruise there within the next few minutes. But Clancy just kind of almost turns her back on Peter and approaches Q.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen here.
20s? Because Red Ranger bias?
And nat 20. Here we go.
Unlikely, you see, because Quinn has no dice in animal handling nor streetwise.
Double 20s.
2 nat 20s.
Yeah.
2 nat 20s. Come on,
It
right
could
here.
happen.
Show me the
There
numbers.
is also a hang-up that Q has, which is called Could Do Better, which is once per session, when you would roll with a snag, you automatically fail instead.
Oh. Well,
Whilst we can pick and choose kind of between the GM and I where it goes, I think probably a good moment for it to go.
Yeah, probably.
It's a sad moment, but it is a good moment. Yeah.
I'll say, unless I roll a nat 20.
2 nat 20s. Come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. You got this.
We're watching.
It's nat 20 or bust. Yeah, bust.
Yeah.
It
Bust.
is bust. Quincy, what was that? A 4 and a 18. Or
4 and an 18.
yeah.
Oh,
Quincy doesn't even hesitate. Those wings fly up in anger. Feathers bristle just as the animal handler warned you, and she pecks straight at Q's head.
at your eye. Yeah.
And she does actually draw just a little bit of blood, just a faint line that definitely isn't going to be a story scar for Q at any point. Just like, yep, I got this fighting a terrifying beast.
I mean,
loss of-
look, that's basically true.
Close
Ostriches,
enough. Yeah. I mean,
terrifying
Oh,
animals.
terrifying.
What, geez, what did you say to her, Pete?
Nothing. I just wanted to love her.
You guys are doing great, Cal says from a mile away.
Cal's like practically round the tent. It's just like, go guys.
Guys are doing great. You can do masterful handling of that bird.
The animal handler takes Clancy away as they continue walking round the fairground, just introducing her to various people. And there's a few pecks, there's a few pats on the hand, but nobody seems to have gotten the reaction that Cal did. And even as he walks round the corner past Cal, the animal handler looks over at him and just eyes wide open, just thumbs up in the air. It's like, I've not seen Clancy be so friendly with anybody in a long time. Congrats.
Yes, lucky
So we're
me.
just gonna-
Cal was like,
It must be the.
it's like,
It must be
yeah,
the mastery
sure.
of your swingering.
yeah, whatever you say, man. Just keep that bird away from me.
Clancy wanders off with the handler, and you notice for the first time a pair of handlers walking behind, just trying to keep the crowd away from her, making sure that nobody's causing any trouble. Yeah. It's fantastic. Everybody's, it's a great old time. Clancy's made some enemies, some friends. Nothing could
Nothing
possibly...
but enemies.
Yeah. Aww. Where do you want to head to next?
We head down into
well,
these lower
yeah.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that all of the red tent was just for Clancy.
Yep. It's just Clancy's tent. There's food. Food stalls in every one of the tents. There isn't anything pork related other than the corn dogs, which I'm assuming we don't have corn
I mean,
dogs over
they
here.
make the mass-produced like corn dogs that you can like get in like for freezers are actually made of turkey. They're like turkey dogs.
They're turkey dogs. They're not pork. We're going to respect
I
the
was gonna say
pigs.
there's probably very little meat in any of it, but
There's, as I said, there's turkey corn dogs. There's turkey legs. There's haggis. Still doesn't seem to be selling very well for some strange reason. There's
Yeah,
chili
I
cheese
think it
fries.
tastes absolutely awful. That's why.
Anyone who
Look.
eats it will be imprisoned.
Yeah, I mean, like the free stalls that you're standing around at the moment are all food related. Is there anything?
is it like a big turkey leg? Like big
yeah, like a big old turkey leg.
oh yeah,
Hell
Peter's
yeah,
totally
medieval
gonna get one
times
of them.
level.
Yeah, man, medieval. Like yeah, Peter's totally gonna do that.
Like
Just walk around with
almost
his
the
turkey
size
leg.
of Peter's forearm, just a turkey leg, just tearing into.
Noticing that there are no pork products, Cal is just gonna like say to the group and himself, I guess it would feel kind of weird to eat like pork right next to them, like gesturing at like the pig patch.
Yeah. Kind of
Would-
species insensitive, I think.
Yeah, wouldn't feel right.
And Peter
Don't
would
do
just
it,
pipe off
cupcake.
and say insensitive, but this turkey leg would taste great wrapped in bacon.
No argument here. Taking a bite of his corn dog.
I feel like Clancy just walks around the corner as you guys are doing this, and like Pete's just like big old turkey leg, sort of looks at Clancy and just kind of like. There's a reason why Peter and Clancy aren't friends. She obviously got a vibe off of him that she did not like.
Did she think he was foul?
Motherfucker! Son of a bitch.
That was
good.
no,
That was a
no.
good one.
Further
was a good one.
proof that I can't do terrible puns. I really can't.
We all
was
laughed because that was
awful.
hilarious.
That was
He's a
awful.
genius.
He is a comedic
Like in the
genius.
circle of comedy. Funny, brilliant. Absolutely not funny. And I went all the way around the circle and back.
Oh, did I?
Absolute genius level puns.
The
Also, what's in the big top? Anybody know?
in the big top.
This one, I think.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
where
Right,
the
it was.
it's where the bumper cars are at the moment. They're just sort of like it's not particularly big, but it stretches out quite far. It's more oval shaped out behind it, and you can hear kids laughing and cheering as they're slamming bumper cars into one another. As kids are wont
Oh,
to do.
that would
So,
be
have
fun.
you guys passed your driving tests yet? Or have you guys passed your driving tests yet? Or shall we
Yep.
go and crash?
Well, it wouldn't be responsible to drive around with the children in the, like, you can tell, like, Cal is looking at it with such intensity. It's like, I need this, but he's still trying to be like a bunch
He's
of
trying to be the good
like
guy.
adults and older teenagers. You know, it wouldn't be kind to, just like looking at the tent. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like he's like already like it's not a full tilt sprint, but it's like it's a power walk with purpose.
Power means, yeah.
Go ahead and make me drive checks, all of you.
Well, all right. Is there a difficulty for this?
We'll say the difficulty is 10, but what I'm looking for is more how you do against one another. I'm just going to...
Wow, that was a fucking flawless.
Oh my god!
The 22.
Wow. Okay.
I will collect a story point for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
And
Peter's just
10.
drifting around corners, like
Difficulty 10, yep.
nipping at everyone with just the tail end of his bumper car in it.
And that's another story point. That's 2.
You keeping your fumble?
Yeah, let's do story point.
Fantastic.
Let's add a story point.
Okay, so that is 7 story points.
All in good fun.
Yeah, I feel like you're collecting them for a reason, like something bad's going to happen. I don't understand. Like, it's just a nice day at the fair, guys.
Oh yeah.
Evil ostrich, that's all I can say.
Yeah, I have a feeling something
When
like
the carnies turn evil, we're gonna have to fight the ostrich because they're affiliated.
or the pigs,
Look.
one of the two.
Yeah, I was just about to say, cupcake turns into pudgy. Watch it.
Pudgy pig.
Outrageous.
Yeah. No, not
Um,
cupcake.
On a side note, I never knew that Pudgy Pig came back.
It came back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in
it is in
I
half
started
another
watching a few of the
episode.
Mighty Morphin episodes towards when they get the Thunderzords, just because
Yep.
thematically it was appropriate. And literally, I think it's the episode before they get their Thunderzords. Pudgy comes back. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
how in the bloody hell
I
did
did
you
not-
come
A couple
back
of them
from
do.
Oblivion?
Yeah, a couple of them do.
It's like they ran out of monsters and they just kept putting them into imaginary.
Mm.
Maybe.
What you gonna do?
Peter drives circles, literally circles, around the rest of the group.
Look at this dude. That's my guy right there.
Cal
Killing
isn't doing too bad, but he just keeps getting slammed into. Oddly enough, by
By
the very
6-year-olds.
kids. Yeah, the very kids that he was like, no, we can't do this. But there's like a group of
I can't fight back against the
No.
children.
group of like 5 and 6 year olds dressed in Power Ranger costumes again that are just like slam, slam, and one of them in a Red Ranger costume is like, yeah, face my Tyrannosaurus Zord. and just like slam. Q. Honestly, I don't know exactly what Q is doing. At one point, somehow he manages to get the card. Yeah, he manages to get it to go backwards, and they're not even supposed to do that. You know, it's supposed to go one direction, and somehow Q is going backwards and doing donuts in the process. He is just—it's a marvel, and you can see the carnival workers just watching, like,
I think we need to help him.
um,
I think he's in serious danger.
I think I've got it in spirograph mode.
Jameson isn't doing much better. He's managing to go forwards at the very least, but it's almost like every foot he goes, another person slams into him. Whether or not they just like bam, 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 bam. But they you know, it's all fun and games. You know, there's some bruises, a little bit of whiplash, but it's all fun and games.
All fun and games.
Yeah.
Fun day at the carnival.
And then at the end, my car explodes.
As we are getting out of,
Yeah.
we all get out of the bumper cars, and as we're walking away, there's just an explosion.
Just like smoke rises from the engine. It's just like, wait, what? It doesn't even have an engine. It's just a motor.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh god.
I will say that, Peter, you get your choice of some prizes. The carnival worker's pretty impressed, and he's got a few toys that people have, like a few of the prizes that people have dropped and left behind, and he's sort of got them in a lost and found box, and he kind of gestures over, and it's like,
So fucked up. That's so fucked up.
we've got an
I'm just gonna take
ostrich,
someone else's shit. Like,
we've got an ostrich, and we've got a green Power Ranger.
If you drop it in the go-karts, it's for the people.
Yeah.
It's no longer yours.
It's for the people.
well,
This-
thematically, it'd only be right that I take green, but yeah. So yeah, I'll take green.
If you take that ostrich, I'll
Fantastic.
never forgive you.
I was tempted to take the ostrich for you. We just never
So
get
you-
the yellow ranger. We get an ostrich instead.
Oh boy.
You
No, thank you. Nah, the yellow was at the Bridge of Doom. No one's getting that shit.
No. You hear panicked screams from over by the pig pen. You see people running away. And over a loudspeaker, you hear someone shout, "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. Farmers, please retrieve your..." My goodness, what is that? Run! Run for your lives! And
I feel like we
Well,
all
that
share a
escalated
look,
quickly.
and then we all sprint over.
everybody starts running. Like, anybody that hadn't already started running away just instantly starts running away from the I think the audio all went funny then. Everybody starts running away from the pig pen, and as you get closer to it, you see this large
Pudgy!
No.
pig wearing a gladiator, like a Roman gladiator's helmet, a knife and fork in each hand, and you notice he has a blue ribbon tied to his ear, a first place ribbon, and the farmer
they got
is
cupcake.
standing over there. He did get a cupcake. He's just like, "Cupcake." The giant pig just yells out, "Viva la revolution! And give me some ketchup!"
It's a French Pudgy?
French, and then Texan. So I think he's from Quebec.
And
All right, and now I've managed to alienate
actually-
both California and Canada.
And what other places beginning with C can we upset?
with
Look at this man.
Pudgy Pig on the scene, this is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh
You
no!
will
Uh-oh.
still have all of your story points because this is sort of it's the same.
Middle of the story.
Mm-hmm. To be continued.
Yeah, but
Hell yeah.
Pudgy Pig, some very successful and very awful attempts at completing some fairground activities.
Look, what can I say? That Bridge of Doom was a
Almost.
killer.
That Bridge of
Yeah,
Doom was
it
definitely a killer.
Literally
Ow.
of doom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some
Unlike the Swingerling, it was named appropriately.
some absolutely
Oh, man.
fantastic roleplay moments and character development that I absolutely adored. And I'm going to ask you, all of you, before we go, what was your favourite moment?
For me, probably my reveal that Cal is afraid of ostriches.
Jameson?
I quite like.
Mine was probably just at the end finding out that my guy Cupcake is actually Pudgy Pig.
Yes.
That kind of broke right there.
Cupcake!
That kind of broke me right there. Cupcake.
We will save Cupcake. Don't worry.
Jay?
I hope we got.
Without wishing to sound too narcissistic, I really enjoyed that you upped the challenge of the Mongo Putty, and the first combat roll I had, I just nailed it and 2 feet straight to the face.
Yep.
That filled me with goodness.
That 20 was amazing. Yeah.
That's
And then
getting
doing
a
it
20
again
when
in
you
the
need
next
it.
round. It's like,
Yeah.
da-da-da, revenge of bias. Even the
Yeah.
dice are in on it.
Dude, for real though.
And
But
And
hey,
then what
20 on
impressed me.
initiative.
20 on initiative, yeah.
I'm so mad about that.
Yeah.
That 20 could have come up anywhere else and I would have been okay with it. 20 on initiative. God
Michael?
damn it.
Probably everyone's what it means to be a ranger moment.
I loved those. They really were fantastic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a bit more character development and whatnot.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you guys. It's been another fun
and
session.
hitting
Oh,
things really hard, but that's always my favorite.
I feel like he had to just edge that in there before we went. Yeah, it's been an absolutely fantastic session. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. I hope you guys watching and listening along enjoyed yourselves. Yeah, have a great week, everybody. We will see you again next Thursday. Bye,
Ready
everybody.
to
White
rumble.
Ranger again. Take care. Stay
Full
safe.
roster.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.